Hello, everyone, and welcome to another session of Roll for Damage, where a group of us geeky friends decided to get together and showcase our storytelling through Dungeons and Dragons for all of the interwebs. Um, no major announcements for this week. Um, we are tangled in the middle of an intriguing political plot, and I think we should just jump directly into it and see where we go from there. So, let's jump right into tonight's session of Roll for Damage. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Let's get some music going and then give a little recap on where we currently are. So, last we left off, the Shields of Twilight finally finished with their various adventures and things to do in the continent, in the country of Azel. Decided to cash in on their favor and be transported as quickly as possible, to Riveran, the capital of the nation of Atril, one of the largest nations in Aotania. A militaristic nation built on the belief that a united front is better than a split culture. Upon entering the city, they were quickly communicated with by one of the members of the Triumvirate, whose tower they had found themselves in, and were brought before the full council, where the group had found that Orianna, not telling them the true nature of everything that she had done, and really not understanding herself, was wanted for high treason for releasing a war criminal named Damien Felbin, who had mentored her in the bardic arts. The group, not wanting to cause any more problems or make things worse, decided to sit tight and speak with Lex and Fulton to see if they could find a way to smooth things over, or at least help their friend without extra harm, and managed to gain an audience with Cade, the strength of the Triumvirate and supposed betrothed of Orianna, from what they had learned, although how true that is, they're not sure. Upon speaking with him, they learned that there were a lot of things going on in the nation, and it was very complex, and one of those things was There is a sort of secretive organization called the Strangled Vine that tended to do things under cover of the government, under whose provision he didn't know, but he felt like they were into something nefarious and potentially corrupt, along with the new attendant to Orianna, the wits of the Triumvirate, Ephraim, who was once a member of Lux Eterna. Asking the group to investigate and seek out if there was any seeded corruption within the council itself or the organization, and bring it back to the Triumvirate to show that they had done the task. Cade had brought it forward to the rest of his colleagues and managed to get a stay of execution on, or trial and execution on Orianna, and give her the opportunity to use her own skills to help her friends in the endeavor. Talking with Lex after all of this had been enacted, she gave them a multitude of options to look into before heading out herself, and Fulton also heading out to other business that he had to attend. The group decided to look into their first lead, Bardock, a informant of Lex's, only to find a convoluted thread of strange accusations and intrigue, eventually finally meeting up with him and learning that he had been potentially set up, and that the Strangled Vine was somehow entangled with a cult, with a maroon pyramid and a strange skull, which Baltaim is very familiar. The group let Bardock go and decided that they needed to figure out what their next move was. Upon some discussion, the group was split between heading towards Orianna's family and meeting at her childhood home, and going back to the inn to see if they could gather more information, as they know that there is a entrance to a place where information is traded by the Strangled Vine somewhere close to the Gilded Mountain. That is where we pick up. So, Shields of Twilight. You are walking the streets of Sirgut, and heading back, at least in the direction of both Orianna's manor, which she had taken you, and back towards the Dragonstone Citadel and where the Gilded Mountain Inn is. What would you like to do?
Are we still being followed? I'm guessing probably.
Make a perception check.
Yeah, let's see how that goes. Probably not great. Holy shit!
All right, natural 20.
Natural 20, so 19. That feels bad to say.
So after you kind of like made your way through the crowds after Baltaim had made a ruckus and everything like that, it was hard to see if you had a tail or anything like that. But as you continue to make your way through the streets, you do see that it seems like a couple of figures are following you.
Okay.
Again, from that like 120 foot distance.
Right.
They're not close to you, just kind of keeping an eye.
Okay, that makes sense. I just
you don't
wanted
know
to make
how
sure.
much of the previous stuff they saw or whether they were aware of it, but they seem to just be following you at a distance, making no moves to interact with you at this time.
Okay, well that's good. That's what we kind of want. All right, cool.
Right.
I'm gonna just continue walking on, but secure in the knowledge that we are still being tailed. How is Orianna looking the closer we get to home?
Good question.
Orianna?
Orianna is kind of like just doing this with her hands a bunch. Just like wringing her hands and like fidgeting a little bit.
And are you leading them towards your home, or?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, you notice that she's nervous.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm just gonna get over beside her and just sort of knock her on the shoulder, like, "Oi,
Ow!
not that hard, you baby."
You've gotten so much stronger recently, Quinn.
Eh,
No. Don't care.
no, you're right.
Not really.
Elaborate on that.
I was not very kind to my mother before I left.
Mm-hmm.
And although she is not held accountable for my actions, I don't think she is going to be very excited to see me.
Mm-hmm. You know, that gives you and I something in common. The last thing I said to my mom was far less than kind. It's when I was trying to pack shit up to go on that stupid boat trip. The one that, Ed basically got me in all this. And, like she would when I was going to do something god awful and stupid, she was telling me, no, don't. Yelling a bit, because I'm not the best listener sometimes. I don't know if you've noticed.
I hadn't noticed, no.
And the last thing I said to her, which is going to be the last thing I ever get to say to my mother while she's living, was, "Oh, fuck off, no wonder Dad left," and then I walk out. That is the thing that I will remember saying to her until the day I die. You, however, get a chance to do better. I don't. And you know the one thing that never gets lighter the longer you carry it? Regret. It gets heavier and heavier. But it stays there. Unless you get a chance to put it down. Unless I can do something that's at least mildly impossible, I'm probably keeping mine forever. You don't have to.
I know I should. It's not that I don't want to.
Then do it.
I hated her, Quinn. I thought she didn't care about me. She just wanted me to marry someone to increase the family name.
Well, like I said, you have a chance to make that right. To have that conversation. Just do something I know you're not very good at and actually be honest. Completely honest. Don't fucking hide the truth. Don't tell the things that make you look good. Don't say the things that she would want to hear, that you want to be true. Say what is. And only that. Be absolutely candid. Otherwise, what's the fucking point?
I'm sorry I didn't tell you guys how bad it was.
Yeah, no, there's going to be a bit of a reckoning for that later when I figure out it's safe to actually punch you properly. But now is not that time, seeing as how we are still being followed. There's people murdering children in the streets, and there's more people doing all manner of unspeakable things somewhere underground. So, a lot on our plate. Not a good time for anything else. But just try to remember this sort of thing going forward as well. Don't tell only part of the truth. And not just to us, but in general. Especially today, when you're going to have a long overdue conversation. Just think about how lucky that makes you that you actually get to.
Quinn, I know you want to go back to the inn to get ready or potentially make a move. Can you just promise me one thing?
Probably not, but sure. Let's find out.
Can we just make sure that we have a solid plan before we do?
That was always the idea. Get a plan and then make a move. I wasn't saying go off half-cocked. I was saying we go to the place where we know we're going to need to be, make the plan, and then we act with more expediency because we're literally at ground zero for plan making plus action. It's like a one-stop shop for everything we needed. They even have food and drink. I mean, what more could you ask for?
I just meant, could we make this a plan at my house first?
That is where we're going, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't want us to get caught unprepared in a place so close to the enemy.
And let's get where we're going, then we'll figure out what we're doing from there, right? But I'd worry more about what is about to happen when you knock on that door, and less what's about to happen when we all get in a room and start trying to hash things out. Your conversation's coming first, I imagine.
Probably.
Well, no, let me put this another way. If it doesn't, I am large enough that I can put you in a room and literally make you be somewhere where you have no choice but to speak to her. And I'm not above it.
I'll just kind of smile and then kind of like hugging his arm and leaning my head against his shoulder. Thank you, Quinn. You can be a very good friend sometimes.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a right awful bastard. I'm just going to separate and just go about walking.
Okay. Takes you probably another half an hour, 40 minutes, and Orianna, you find yourself back on that street where those large homes are in a row. And you know at the end of the street where your family manor is, behind that gate that you had passed earlier in the day. And at this point, it's probably around maybe 2 p.m.
As we first kind of get into the street, I kind of shuffle my feet and move a little slower at first.
Mm-hmm.
Harry gives her a gentle nudge forward to keep moving.
And
Perry, you know, considering the conversation you had previously, like where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, you find yourself in front of the gates with the buzzer on the side. The strong stone wall.
Kind of like very slowly reach my hand over to the buzzer.
I grab her by the hand and force her to push it.
Okay.
Yes.
You press the buzzer and you feel the gentle like zzz. And after a moment, you all have never seen this, but Orianna, you have. Watch as this sort of arcane energy, this like purple screen opens up, and you see a gentleman behind it, graying hair. You know him as the Chamberlain of your home, Orianna. His name is Kieran. He's a human gentleman, looks dressed finely from like above the shoulders that you can see because it like sort of cuts off at his neck. He says, "Hello, who is this? Oh, Lady Orianna. It has been so long. I was not expecting you.
Hi, Kieran.
You wish to come in? Oh, I see you have company."
Yes, it's my friends, my traveling companions.
"Well, you're welcome, of course. This is your home. Syria, I will let her know." And you know Syria to be the head of your parents' guard and the security of your home. She is a half-orcish woman, very renowned, and not a part of the Atrillian military, trained as such, but now takes on more private jobs. And she has been with your family since you were a child. You pretty much can't remember a time when you didn't have her and the security of her guard watching your home and making sure that everything was safe. And you hear as the screen kind of like closes, you hear the as the gates slide apart and open for you to enter into the homestead. You step forward.
Alton just steps forward.
Yeah, as you
Alton's
start
like,
to,
I'm here.
you guys kind of, the rest of you kind of like start to walk forward as Orianna kind of takes a breath and then follows after you. And as you walk in, no perception check needed, but as you kind of look to either side, you do notice there are various guards on the grounds now in various areas, and you start to see them like walking. They never walk in front of the gates, it seems, but are keeping an eye on the outer grounds. From what you see so far, you've seen 4. You're not sure how many more there might be. This place seems fairly well tended to. It is a fairly long walk up to the main homestead. I think I said like 60 to 80 feet the last time that you were here. So you make your way sort of up this pathway and towards the front door. And as you get towards the front door, you see it open for you, and Kieran stands there and he says, "Guests of House Scarlet, please enter. The lady is a bit busy at the moment, but you are always, of course, welcome. I can let her know that you're here, Miss Orianna."
You see Orianna hesitate for a moment, but looks at Quinn, thinks about the elbow that would be coming if she said no.
Quinn is like sort of behind Orianna and to the left, so if she starts hesitating for a moment, there's going to be a big old meaty hand right in the middle of her back just shoving forward. Okay, and as he like opens these double doors for you, you all are led inside to this beautiful sort of foyer area. And as you kind of step inside, you hear as you step inside, you hear piano playing coming off from one of the rooms off to your left. And you hear a voice singing. And in the background, this beautiful voice sort of just permeates the air, and it is powerful but somber and quiet. And Kieran leads you in and closes the door. And he says, "That is the lady. She's just practicing at the moment. Can I get you anything, or should I go lead you to her?"
Is Father home?
No. High General Scarlet is busy at the moment. I am sorry, Orianna, but you know, his duties often keep him quite entangled in many things. And you do see there's like a staircase that leads up to the sort of second floor. And on the second floor, you do see a few sort of maids kind of like walking along, seemingly bringing linens and cleaning products and things like that, seemingly keeping the place clean and together. In the foyer itself, you see this beautifully hung chandelier that like lights up the entire area. There's this sort of beautiful red carpet that leads up to the stairs and likely goes up to the second floor. On the sides, you see suits of armor that are there for decorative purposes, but look quite striking and beautiful. And then on one side, you see this gorgeous portrait of a red-skinned tiefling woman with blue hair, silver streaks, sitting in this sort of like throned chair almost, and standing beside her a gentleman, human, gray streaks sort of on the side of his hair, sort of blackish hair, looking strict but formal, has like this cloak off the side of his shoulder, dressed in sort of this black and red, as his hand is sort of on the side, and you see his other hand is sort of in hers as they sit together posing for this portrait. And then on the opposite side, you see another portrait of that same woman and man standing each with a hand on the shoulder of a young, what you know to now be Orianna. As they stand there smiling together, and each of them a hand on her shoulder and one hand holding one of her hands.
About how young am I in that picture?
You remember that portrait to have been taken. You didn't like it too much because you were still quite fidgety at a young age and didn't really want to stand there. And It is a painted portrait. It is not a photograph.
Fidgety at a young age. She's still fidgety now.
You remember it to be when you were about maybe like 9 or 10. So you were old enough to understand that it was important for you to stay still, but you didn't like it very much because you had other things books that you'd been wanting to read and places that you wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine Mama Scarlet was not above using like suggestion or hold person or something to
no
like make
idea
her
what
be
she
still.
did to make her be still, but
I don't know, but I have ideas considering bards and wizards and shit.
maybe,
They're all over this
or
place.
maybe she was just a good mother to her daughter and made sure that she had something that she would get after she, listened and stayed still and had the
the classic parenting trick, bribery.
Yeah.
But you remember,
generations.
you do actually remember Orianna when that portrait was taken, and you do remember you were actually gifted a book. It was a history of music, actually, that your mother gave you after you had posed for that, and she had gone through some of it with you even at bedtime afterwards, and you were also gifted ice cream. So.
Well, there's quite the place you got here, Orianna. Man.
Quite lovely.
Mm-hmm. What time of day is it right now? Because I
told you
remember how
about
long we've been out.
2:30 in the afternoon. And Kieran just says, "It sounds like the lady is finished. Would you like me to take you to her?"
Yes, Kieran. I would love that.
Of course. Follow me. She's just in the conservatory over here. And he walks you over, and there are these two double doors on sort of the left-hand side, just past where that large portrait of the three of them are. These beautiful sort of like oaken double doors with these golden handles, and he opens one of the handles and pulls it forward, and he says, "Lady Scarlet, your daughter and some of her friends are here to see you." And you just hear filter through, "Let them in, please." And he nods, and as he opens the door, he sort of gestures all of you to head forward.
Inside.
Okay. As you step inside, you see this beautiful open room with these sort of this bow window that looks out into sort of the backgrounds of the manor, into a garden that is seemingly well kept and landscaped and gorgeous with all of these flowers. You see a large white grand piano sitting there on a red carpet. You see on one of the walls is just a floor to ceiling sort of bookshelf that just covers the entire wall with all of these books and various statues and things. There are a couple of couches for you to sit on in one area and a couple of comfortable chairs. There's a table, a small sort of like coffee table. And as you step inside, you see standing up from the piano that beautiful red-skinned woman, yellow eyes, the blue hair, horns, the streaks of silver in her hair, wearing this fine sort of red burgundy coat with these sort of like cropped riding pants, looking very, very well dressed and formal as she sort of stands and looks over to Kieran and says, "Please, bring us some beverages and snacks." And she kind of bows to all of you. "Welcome to my home. Please, all of you, have a seat. This
I'll give
is
a
most
bow back.
unexpected."
I politely bow and find a seat.
Mhm.
I try to interpose myself between Orianna and the rest of the group and do that thing where I just use my mass to make sure there is a decisive gap between her and the rest of us whenever all the rest of the group has to make a quick exit.
And sit down, and Oriana's kind of like left standing there not knowing what to do. You watch as your mother steps towards you and kind of looks at you sternly for a moment, Orianna. And she says, You left with no letter, no note, with nothing. Months we wandered, and then we learned of what had happened. Orianna, my little starlight, please, why? And she holds her hand out to you.
I just go in for the hug.
She grabs you and hugs you tightly, and she says, "Oh, my daughter, why?
So
Why
sorry,
did you
Mama.
feel you needed to leave? We could have, I don't know, but we could have done something. You're," and she pushes you back and grabs your face. "You're my world. You're my everything, my daughter. None of this means anything if I don't have you to give it to."
I'm sorry, Mama.
And she just tucks some of your hair away, and she just says, "It is okay. You are okay. I am just glad you are okay." And she turns to the rest of you and she says, "Thank you for keeping my starlight so safe. I am so appreciative. I'm sorry. And she sort of wipes her cheeks and she says, "Please, I am Helena Scarlett, who might I have the absolute pleasure of guesting in my home."
Baltaim, Cullen,
Baltaim, it is a pleasure.
pleasure is mine.
Gwen.
Hello, Quinn.
Yes.
Yep.
When
This shit's awkward, man. Quinn's just like, nope.
I give a little nod. Peregrine of the Fossilm.
It is a pleasure, Miss Peregrine.
You can call me Sin.
Sin. And pleasure, Sin.
And like always, Campion isn't paying attention.
I'm gonna nudge him.
Oh, yeah, I just
I was
nudged
gonna say,
Gideon.
who's sitting
Everybody
next to
like
him?
just reaches up and
Everyone just
slaps him in
nudged
unison.
Gideon.
There's just like this mass nod and like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's like,
Elbow.
What? Say what?
I'll say your name,
introduce
stupid.
yourself.
I am Campion.
It is a pleasure, Campion. And your dog is so cute. And she goes and like she pets Greybone. And she's like, aren't you sweet? And you just see him like like as if he's a real dog.
I love it.
Woof.
It's amazing.
Jesus.
Engage panting noise.
Orianna, I only learned that you are in the city very recently. This morning, actually.
We had arrived the previous night in.
Yes, too much fanfare, I'm sure.
That's one way of putting it. Yes. Got an audience with the Triumvirate. Spent the night in Dragonstone, and
You spoke
we're
with
here.
Cade. You spoke with Cade. Is this correct?
yes, I spoke with Kate. Yes.
He has been quite kind these past months.
You mentioned that he has been grateful for your friendship.
Oh, Orianna, why? And she like leads you over and sits you down and takes one of the seats. She says, what did we ever do to make you want to leave? To make you feel like you could not confide in your family?
It's well, you know how I felt about the proposals and all of that, but
Orianna. The proposals. You always assumed. She turns to the rest of the rest of you and she says, my little starlight, all her life, her nose in a book,
Mm-hmm.
always learning, never looking out at the world around her.
That trait has carried over.
Familiar, yes.
Mm-hmm. No, that tracks. We've
So
seen
smart,
it quite a bit.
Such a smart young girl, but there is so much more to childhood than books and reading and being indoors. No friends. Too good for friends, I don't think she was, but her books were her friends. And I just wanted to see you find companionship, Orianna. You cannot live a life with books alone, and your father and I will not be here forever.
I know, Mama.
So, yes, I would set up dates, but not dates to force her into something she would not want. Dates to find someone she could share her love of knowledge and the world with. And I never knew you wanted to learn music, Orianna. You never showed any interest in it. I remember I used to try to get you to sing with me, to play the piano. But you were uninterested, always wanting to go back to a book. So I thought you wanted freedom to study books, history, the world. And so we sent you off to study at the academy here. And we gave you the opportunity to learn the way that you wanted. But still, even with that, you stuck to yourself. Every time I used to ask you about friends, you would tell me, "No, it's not important. They don't understand you. That they don't like the same things as you." So I would try to find you someone who would. And I am sorry if it felt like I was forcing something on you that you did not want, but I just wanted you to have someone beyond your father and I who were busy and did as much as we could to look after you, but a girl needs friends her own age, people she can confide in that are not her mother or father, or servants of the household.
Finally found some.
I see
Not one of them.
that. I see that. I'm glad for it. I'm sad that it took you leaving to do so, but you all seem like wonderful people. And then Cade came, and you assumed that it was a marriage proposal again. And because you've been so entrenched in your books, I still don't think you even understand how Atril works. Marriage to Cade would get you nothing. You don't marry up in Atril. You gain your status from what you do and what you accomplish. I did not marry your father because of who he is. I love him. And he gets just as much from our marriage as I get from him. We have both made strong careers in this country, in this city, for who we are. We do not have our status because our blood. It is because of our deeds. So no, Cade was not meant for you to be forced upon. I thought that maybe when he came, he was being forced into a position as a member of the Triumvirate, being a younger man who had no connections. It seems strange for the strength to be alone. And he was being pressured. And he came to the opera and we got to know one another. And I told him it might be good for you to meet. That perhaps the two of you could find some parallels in who you were and what you were looking for. And when you ran off, and we found out that you were visiting that prison, I asked Cade to give you space. I told him that you would come around eventually. That ever inquisitive, you needed to find things for yourself and learn. And I heard you playing music when you came home. And so I let it be. I've only ever wanted you to be happy, Orianna. To find your own way without the influence of your father or I pushing you in one direction or another.
I'm sorry, Mama. I don't know why I did what I did.
But you're back. And I believe that this can be made right. You did not release that man. On purpose, right?
I did not.
You did not know, right?
I thought he just wanted something to give himself some happiness. I didn't realize it would be a tool for his escape.
She just takes your hands and like rubs them between hers. She says, I believe you. And your father believes you.
I put my trust in the wrong person.
Well, it looks like you've put your trust in the right people here. And
They've protected me more times than I can count.
That is good. And I'm sure you've learned many things that cannot be understood from books alone in your travels. She just pats your hands. And she like straightens up and she wipes her eyes and she says, I am so sorry. And at this point you see Kieran come in and he lays out some like teas and coffee and a few other servants like follow with him, and there's some snacks laid out on the table for you all to drink. And once they finish, you see your mother pick up a cup and saucer with her own special blend that she enjoys. She drinks. Well, I don't know everything that goes on, but is there anything I can do to help you?
I'll kind of look to the group and then look back to her. We are investigating the strangled vine. And their potential meddling in things they shouldn't.
Okay. I do not know anything about the strangled vine. I am sorry, Orianna.
I don't believe any of us assumed so. Mostly we were just looking for, if you don't mind terribly, a place just to stop and talk for a bit. We just sort of needed a sort of just a location to make some plans.
Oh,
and
of
Orianna
course.
had a long overdue conversation.
Right.
I am glad I am able to see her. You're welcome to use this room if you wish. Or I could show you to the meeting room if that's better for you.
How many rooms does this place have?
Not a lot,
Man.
but we have our dining room. We have a meeting room for Mr. Scarlet to be able to house guests, talk about various things that are military in nature. And then we have our bedrooms upstairs. And a small living room as well. Oh, and our kitchen and the bathrooms, but it might be bigger than some of the things that some of you are used to, but it is not quite as big as some of the noble houses that I have visited on my travels in some of the places around this world. But if you need a place to stay, of course you are welcome here as well. We can find the room for all of you.
We can go wherever we're most out of your way.
I was simply practicing. I have a show tonight, as I do most nights. I don't need this room right now. You are welcome to have it, and I can be out of your hair.
That I think this will work for us, ma'am.
Okay. She
Thank you.
She finishes her her tea and sets it down and stands up, and she says, and she comes over to you, Orianna, and she just gives you a gentle kiss on the cheek, and she says, "Please, before you leave, if you do, just let me know."
Well, ma'am.
She just squeezes your hand gently, and she says, "It was a pleasure meeting all of you."
Thank
It's
you.
lovely to meet you as
My
well.
kind meeting you as well.
And just nods, ma'am.
She just nods to all of you and gently walks out of the room, closing the conservatory door behind her.
And starts wiping away the tears.
All right. Well, first of all, your mother is lovely. And your home is nice. And you're real lucky to have a place to come back to.
I am. Gosh, I'm such a terrible daughter.
No, you are, or were, still are a little bit naive and a little bit foolish.
You're not a terrible daughter, Orianna. You're an idiot. But
There's
good news,
difference.
that gets better. If
Fair.
you've learned things, it makes you less stupid.
You made
Forgot I didn't
mistakes.
even leave her a letter. Oh, gosh.
Right? It also makes you an idiot. This is well established. These are all things you may want to go back and say more to her later, because I imagine you may want some more conversation with her before we move on about our business. For now, though, if you can manage it, we got a call or two we may need to make.
Yes, yes, we do.
Deep breath. You're okay.
If you call one, they probably got those communicate things they can call each other. Figure out getting over here if we need to talk in person.
I reckon we probably won't. They've got their own things to deal with, but I'd like to get them updated at least, or at least Lex.
All right. So I want to give her a call, let her know what's going on, what we found so far. Because I imagine for once we'll be able to tell her something new.
Yes, we should. But let's figure out what the message should say. Because remember, it's limited.
Yeah.
No, I remember. I used to do that, and
Hey.
I imagine we want to tell her that the man who we were sent to for information is being framed for murdering children. And
Maybe we should use the word accused instead of framed.
Either way, I don't care. I'm just saying that's what we've learned. I'm not sending the message. Don't tell me semantics.
We should probably give her information on, there's some sort of connection with the strangled vines with the Gilded Mountain.
Mm-hmm. And also that strange group with that symbol.
The cult of the Undying
Right.
King.
Them, yeah. Kind of a lot we need to communicate in 25 words.
Yeah.
I mean,
It may be best
Might
if you
be
just
best if
literally
we actually
invite her.
Invite her home, yeah.
Yeah.
Might.
I mean, just... It's one of those things where it's not like this meeting could have been a message. This message needs to be a meeting.
Right. We could ask her if she's willing to relay notes at some point today.
Right. Meet up with her somewhere or get her to come here, something.
And if so, meet up here or meet her wherever she's at, perhaps, potentially.
Right.
I could give her the gist of what we've learned, and ask if she is available to meet.
Or if she feels like she needs to.
Worst case scenario, she says no, and then I have to use a little more magic to tell her the rest.
Right. Stupid idea. You could probably simplify the whole thing about telling her about the cult of the Undying King. Just say cult. I imagine she'll put the rest together.
If you say the cult.
Based on context. Unless she's looking into several other cults at once. Which, knowing her life, not the strangest thing.
Yeah, not uncommon, it could be.
Right. Not exactly an unbelievable occurrence, I imagine, but still. The most recent one she's talked about, I think.
Okay, so we tell her that we found my brain just went blank. We found Bardock, who's been accused of killing kids. That the commander is working with the cult and stuff is happening beneath or behind the strangled vine. The Gilded Mountain.
And that somehow all leads some point or another with a frame being there and also being here in general.
Right.
We don't know that it links to a frame at all at this point.
Well,
we don't, but
We found zero connection, which doesn't mean there isn't one. It just means we haven't found it.
it's just mighty convenient he's also at the same tavern.
Right.
there is that.
Okay.
Did you have something, Orianna?
Counting it up right now.
Yeah, cram all that in 25 words.
Yeah.
Do it!
Yeah, it's rare when this meeting could have been an email turns into this email needs to be a meeting.
21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, I got it to 24.
Okay.
Go. Good job.
And with thanks, just to be
Six.
polite. That'll round it out to 25.
So I'll say this to the group first before I cast it, just so that we're fine.
Okay.
Bartok accused of murder. We spoke, got information. Vine meets near the Gilded Mountain. Are you free to discuss more freely? Sturgut, Scarlet Estate.
Thanks.
That's.
Maybe mention child murder instead of just murder.
I mean,
Well, that
same,
would
same
be-
thing. Well, not the same thing, but like
Child
He's
murder would make it
accused-
7. Would make it 25,
Yeah.
I think. So.
It would make
Yeah.
child murder would make it 25. So yeah,
Okay.
it worked.
Okay.
Add that, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
Do
that's
it.
what you
So-
send.
Yep.
Okay.
Heavy sigh is not one word.
All right. Give me an hour. I'll be there. Hope they're expecting me. That's all you
I
got.
will inform the group
As I say, you
And
better.
and immediately
That's
go
not
find
sending
Kieran
lists.
and Syria.
Easily enough. You find Kieran mulling about where you normally see him, or you find one of the staff. They find him, and you get him, and you let him know that your friend Lex will be coming. What do you say?
She will likely be here in about an hour. She might not use the gate.
Fair.
Why wouldn't she use the gate?
like she would.
You invited her.
I hope she does, but
Anything we should be looking for?
I'll describe Lex. How she
Striped
was dressed. How she was dressed the last time I saw her.
Okay. He says, okay, I will let the staff know, and we'll keep an eye out for her. Is there anything you or your friends need while you're waiting?
It's about 3 o'clock right now.
At this point, yeah, about 2:45, 3 o'clock, yeah.
Mm.
Not at the moment, Kieran. I'll send for you if we do. Thank you so much.
Very well. It's good to see you. And he takes your hand and pats it. It's good to see you back, Lady Orianna. I'm glad you are well.
As I am, you are as well.
Oh, these old bones will be around for a little while longer, I think. And he heads off to presumably inform the staff and let everyone know.
I'll head back to the group.
Okay.
So we have an hour or so.
All right.
I really hope Lex uses the gate.
I mean, you invited her.
I
She
would think she
tried to
would,
come through the
yeah.
door. She's not a fucking savage, man.
I just don't know if it's her style.
Going
Yeah.
through doors?
I mean,
When
I think it's gonna
invited?
be all right.
If you're worried about her not coming through the door, would she be the sort that would be welcome here?
I mean, she's been invited. She could just go ring.
Yeah. I mean,
She
we've
is
been invited
expected.
here.
We just showed up and knocked,
Yeah.
and in we are.
I just, it's Lex, she.
Orianna, you're
How
doing
much do you
that
know
thing
about
again.
Lex,
Yeah,
to be
I was like-
honest?
I mean, like, really?
I know that she can be sneaky
she
when she
not-
wants
Yeah,
to.
she
Does she
can.
not have-
Yeah, she can. So
But
can Sinner, but
You've
he
never
uses
really,
doors.
I think you've had like one conversation with her, and it was about gods.
Does she not have house manners, Orianna?
She's not housebroken.
Yeah, she pees
You're-
on the floor.
I don't
You're-
know. That's my point. I don't know.
I mean,
You're doing that thing again, Orianna, where you
God,
assume
God, which one?
I just don't want to
Repeat
do it.
after me, Orianna.
Yes.
When I assume.
When I assume I make an ass out of myself and myself.
Nah,
That's a much better version. Try to write that down somewhere in one of your many, many books.
Is there anything specific you guys are going to do for the hour, or are you just going to kind of like have small talk?
I really got nothing.
Walk.
Probably just are we by like a window like
Yeah,
out
there's that
front
big. Well, they're
or
not out
something?
front. There's a big bow
Okay.
window that like looks out towards the back, that garden area.
And is it like a walled off area, or can you see like?
You can't see the wall. What you do see is like large hedges, and then you see this like beautiful flowered sort of garden outside of the home. Occasionally, you will see like a guard walk by.
Okay. Yeah, then I wasn't gonna do what I was thinking.
Escape out the window and run away?
No.
Because
I was
Cynic
gonna
also
see
doesn't
if
have house
we're-
manners.
Smash
If we
the
were
window.
still being trailed even towards this area.
He's gonna Kool-Aid Man
Yeah, you
out,
get-
out
I
of
mean,
this place.
Coming in here, you get the sense that whoever was trailing you would have to stay outside, or they would have to sneak in somehow to like keep an eye on you, because this is a heavily guarded, walled-in property.
And
Alright.
I mean, in all honesty, I don't think they would, but that doesn't mean we couldn't like still see them like lurking
And,
around property.
Cynric, go ahead and make a perception check.
Sure.
Since you're like looking into this.
That's a 15. That's
Just
not
from
that
like
bad.
yeah, just from your like glances and kind of like walking over past that grand piano and like looking out the window and kind of like looking from side to side. Like as you see the guards like looking by, they don't really seem to be paying attention to you guys at all. So that it doesn't seem like there's been like a transference in what you can tell of like whatever was happening outside coming inside this property, and like looking, and as you get close to that bow window, you are able to see like as you look like left and right, because it's kind of like a semicircle. You kind of are able to see a wall on one side, and like looking where you can see that wall, you don't see anyone like looking over that wall. It's quite high, quite a few feet, probably like 7 to 8 feet tall, and same with on the other side. And as the guards walk by, they will generally like glance in every direction to make sure like everything's safe, but no one seems to be actively paying attention to you. It seems like most of the time when the guard passes, they're actively paying attention to the property itself.
Fair.
So that's kind of what you get. These guard are specifically strictly for this family. And
walk
from your
over.
and from your like soldiers' background and knowledge, like you can tell like the formations that they are using is consistent to keep covered.
They're just like patrols.
There's patrols, but they make sure that there are no blind spots left in the property. Like as you like watch them for a moment, like you see like as soon as like another person moves out of their area, another person is coming to take up the area where they would miss. What would happen in that area. And you're actually pretty impressed. Like this is a pretty like for private security, this is a pretty militaristic formation on a ground.
Makes sense, actually. Although, me person makes sense. I don't think we know who Oriana's dad really is yet.
No,
just
you don't.
told.
But you're impressed because like generally you would think like private security, sure, you can get some good private security, but like this is pretty impressive. Like these are, you can tell by the way that they're armed and prepared, these are military trained.
Dope.
Quick question.
Yes.
So Campion, he's gonna put up his hand and be like, "I have to use."
Yes,
the
you ask a
bathroom."
question and the teacher points at you and says, Campion. No, wait,
have
go
to
ahead.
use-
Yeah.
I have to use the bathroom.
We gave you the hall pass.
I give him the directions to the bathroom.
Okay. Campion is gonna go to the bathroom by himself. He's gonna leave Grabo in here.
Okay. Yeah,
people
you step
hope
out
so.
into the main
I
foyer.
mean-
Yeah.
And
I go to the bathroom?
yeah, and just like you come out into the main foyer, and just to your left, against sort of the back wall where the stairs lead up, but like not where the stairs are, there is a door there. And
Is there guards in this hallway?
There's not. You don't see guards specifically right at the moment. You see, you do see various like servants, like and people moving around.
Okay. I'm gonna wait until like the hallway's empty, and then I'm gonna go invisible.
My God.
God, why?
Well,
Go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
Okay.
Because they're not exactly on a. They're not like military. Like these are just servants moving around, so they don't exactly have like a timed thing that you're able to figure out. So you're kind of like trying to find like the right moment to do it.
Yeah, that's a name.
Maybe he's about to lose his bathroom pass.
You're gonna lose your hall pass, sir.
He's gonna lose his bathroom.
This kind
Okay.
of behavior is gonna get you sent to the principal.
So you
I'm
cast
clicking
invisibility
out
on
of
yourself,
Yeah.
and you're standing now to the left of the main staircase.
Okay. Can I perceive? Did anyone see me go invisible?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
Roll even lower. Do it.
Please.
Don't have disadvantage in perception. It's a 22, bitch.
Okay, from where you're standing, like
Yeah.
you can't see the top because you were kind of like against the wall of the staircase, so that like someone standing right above the staircase, generally like would have to like look over. So you kind of like look up. You don't see anyone looking over at you, and you kind of like look to the main foyer, and you don't see anyone in the foyer.
Okay, cool. I'm going to explore.
Where are you going?
my God.
We were
I'm-
invited in, you idiot. You could do this visibly.
I'm trying to find an office
Don't tell him.
for the father.
Okay. So where are you going? So you were kind of told that the
Yeah.
that this floor, when Lady Scarlet explained to you, there's like a meeting room
Yeah.
on the opposite side, as well as the dining room on the opposite side. There's the kitchen
Okay.
on this floor, the bathroom, and then like the private rooms tend to be
Are upstairs. Got you. Okay, cool. So yeah, Campion's heading upstairs, man.
Okay. So as soon as you turn upstairs,
Yeah.
at the top of the stairs, standing with her hands behind her back, hearing you clomp up the stairs because you're not very stealthy.
Yes!
Looking down at you and staring straight at you is Helena Scarlet.
Oh, Jesus.
Hello.
Oh my
There's
God.
something I can help you with. Campion, was it?
I'm a ghost.
Oh my God.
I'm a ghost.
And you see her snap her fingers, and your invisibility is dispelled.
You are an embarrassment. We can't take you anywhere.
Oh man.
You know what? I
and
said
she
this
just-
ages ago.
she smiles
Buddy
at-
system.
She smiles at you, and she just says, I see how Orianna has been kept safe with you all. Those are from impressive skills.
Yeah, Campion, he's banging on this like little tiny machine. He's like, oh, why is it not? Oh, it's not working. Okay. I was
And
looking. I'm a shy pooper. I was looking for the bathroom.
no.
Oh god.
When you cast your spell, you are right next to the bathroom. Do you know what, Campion? You
Yes.
should go back to your friends. I need you to make a wisdom save for me.
Okay.
Hang on, I think it's
Him.
Thank you,
Please.
thank you, Mama Scarlet. Thank you.
I don't know what it is
Mama
because I don't know
Scarlet.
what level she is.
I don't know. I don't want to know. I just want Campion to remember consequences happen.
wisdom save, please.
Okay, no
You
problem.
won't remember.
I just have to remember of a
Wisdom
goldfish.
Save. That is a 16. I know that doesn't pass.
Yeah, that's right.
You feel very enamored by this woman and feel the need to listen to her suggestion.
Okay.
Oh yes.
And Campion goes back down.
And she, as you're going back, as you kind of like turn and walk back down, she walks down with you, and
Okay.
she just places her hands on your shoulder, gives you a gentle kiss on the cheek. She says, "You're a good friend," and she rubs your hair. She pats you on the back and gently pushes you off.
I can't with him.
And
Around the bathroom, okay?
you find yourself back in the conservatory, and once you close the door behind you, you feel that compulsion and charm sort of wash over you.
Okay. Like wash over me, like completely, or wash over me as in gone?
It's gone.
Okay.
You did the thing.
You did the thing.
Okay.
Found the bathroom okay? They have like those nice like soaps with like
Yeah, the really
the
scented
things
soaps,
like kind of
yeah.
like made into things like ducks and stuff like that.
Oh, and Orianna, in your head, you hear, "Dear, please keep a handle on your friends."
Yep.
Champion.
Yeah, I got a little lost. But yeah, I was.
He is very cute
It was.
and curious. He
Yeah,
reminds me of you a little bit.
You know what? That is not untrue.
Very accurate.
I'm also not sure if that's a compliment. Oh gosh.
Oh
It
my
is-
god.
It is Schrodinger's statement. It both is and is not a compliment.
And Campion, I will just give you that
Yeah.
you get the sense that, one, this
Yeah.
property's pretty well watched.
Yeah.
Two,
Uh-huh.
Orianna's parents in the station that they're in
Yeah,
the
hi.
town that you've kind of learned a little bit about would not be
Mhm.
where they are if they were unable to take care of themselves.
Oh my
Mhm.
god,
Okay,
Campion.
okay.
What the fuck?
Okay. I had some ideas.
Captain.
I had
You know,
some ideas.
every time Jay does something now, I just keep thinking, okay, well, this is how
But
Campion
Orianna,
dies.
you get no sense of malice or
Yeah, no,
anger or
no,
anything
she-
for your mom. She's actually quite. She thinks it's quite funny.
Yeah. Champion,
Yes.
could you please refrain from I feel like it's deserving of being a verb now. Could you please refrain from campioning?
Yes.
I mean, yes, I just like I understood when you said that. I got what you meant, but like what?
Where did he go? What did he do?
I don't know. Mom just said that he is cute and reminds her of me a little bit.
Campion, we are in someone else's home. Where are you? Never mind, you don't have any. I was going to ask about his manners.
Yeah, I lived in a wagon.
Okay.
But you have parents. What? They didn't teach you any type of manners at all. What you're saying?
I mean,
You're
I
speaking
lived in the
ill-prepared.
woods, Campion, but I know not to. I don't know, getting other people's shit when I'm not supposed to.
What did you want to find or look for, Campion?
I was searching for the bathroom.
She
Go
told
ahead and
you
make a
roll a
deception.
deception?
Yeah, you are definitely going to roll a deception check.
Yeah, I really.
And whoever wants to may roll an insight check against that deception.
That is a 17.
I mean,
I mean, that is an 18,
Yeah, Peregrine,
bitch.
No,
I just give him the look.
you know he was.
sure.
I mean, he was looking for the bathroom,
He
for a
was told
moment.
the instructions to
For
the
a
bathroom.
moment. and he found it. But then he was looking for. He wanted something else. The
Campion,
rest of you, I mean, you know Campion's behavior. You're kind
Yeah.
of like, but you're like, he might have just gotten lost to the bathroom. You're like on that teetering edge of like,
Yeah.
maybe. I just feels weird. I mean, Orianna, you 100% know that he got caught doing something because you got the message from your mother. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah.
You don't know what, and you don't know if he went to the bathroom and did something untowards in the bathroom. That you're not sure. Like, what the fuck did this dude do in my bathroom?
oh my god.
He wrecked up that bathroom.
And that's kind of like, and the you two are like, did he do something in the bathroom, or did he even not even go? Like the other two are like, did he not even go to the bathroom and like something else happened? You guys
He
are
didn't
like,
wash his hands.
yeah, you're just like not sure. You're like, did he go to the bathroom and like leave poop on the toilet seat or something like that? Like you're not 100%
Wow.
sure what was going on there, but you're just like, okay, this is strange. Perry, you just know, like,
Mhm. I reach down and grab his face so that he is looking me in the eyes.
Yes.
Well, clearly you didn't find the bathroom because you're so full of shit your eyes are brown. Campion, for the love of all the gods, can you please find it in yourself to have some manners and some respect? We've been let into this nice lady's home, even though she doesn't know us from Paylor. And you're gonna roam about nosing into their business? No.
No.
That's right. The answer is no.
Wow.
I mean, even from the looks outside, even if we were to do something, it's not like we'd be getting very far once it was done.
I mean, I'm just saying. If we were back in my village and you started doing some shit like this, I'd let them beat the tar out of you. Just have a little respect. Just common decency, Campion. Please.
You know, in Agaria, the rightful punishment for thieves is taking their hands and cutting it off.
I wasn't thieving. I was.
Perception is
Yes,
mighty key in these situations. You snooping around a house you shouldn't be.
Okay, first off. Okay, I don't, dwarves don't steal, okay?
Oh.
It's kind of a universal race thing, you know.
I don't think that's true.
Reach forward and pinch his lips closed. No more lies, Campion.
You're not good at it.
You're real
You're
bad at it. Now we have to watch it. Now we have to watch it when you have to go to the bathroom now. Well, now we
Is that
have
what you
to
want?
definitely implement Quinn's buddy system.
Jesus, look at this.
Is there anything else
I
you
already
guys are...
share a room with him. I'm not taking him to the bathroom.
You are now. I don't think you
Congratulations,
understand.
You're
Yeah, Orianna?
Campion's buddy.
I'm actually gonna walk over to the piano, and I'm going to try and play it based on how my mom taught me to play it many years ago.
Okay. Are you going to try to play like a melody that she taught you?
I'll start with like a simple scale, just
Okay.
because just getting used to the piano.
Okay, go ahead and make a performance check.
That would be a 27.
Riding a bike.
Damn.
Back to you.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah.
And then I'll start just playing like simple nursery rhyme type melodies.
I won't make you roll again easily enough. You play on the piano and play some fairly simple melodies.
After a few of those, I will pull out the piece I wrote for the druid,
Okay.
and just try and figure out how to play that on the piano because it was written for violin.
Okay. Music's music.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, but
Notes
with
are
piano,
notes,
The
man.
notes are
with
the
piano
notes.
you have to have both hands. So
Yeah, so you're trying to figure out the chords on the
Yeah,
side.
chords.
Go ahead and make a performance check. I'll say with advantage.
okay. That would
Whoa!
be a natural 20 for 29.
You don't know what it is,
27,
but
28, 29.
something about being in your childhood home and feeling the love around you from your family and being welcomed back with really no question, a little disappointment, but mostly elation. You just feel the music flow through you as you begin to play your piece, and actually begin to add the chordic melody to further sort of fill the song with more sort of feeling and emotion than it was just on the violin.
And you guys would recognize it because Orianna had been playing that song when we were in Dahana.
Wow. Coming along?
I just wondered what it would sound like on the piano. I haven't played it in years. Apparently it's still in there somewhere.
There are some things you don't forget.
I'm going to take this opportunity to shower and maybe get a change of clothes, so that we'll kind of look at my my original outfit and just notice like all the wear and tear that it has on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you get up from the piano bench and step over to the doorway, and as you open it, you do notice a guard standing just to the side of the door. As you step out, looks over at you, and you notice this is a guard named Doran.
Doran.
Half-elven gentleman. Just looks over at you, kind of gives you a nod, and lets you walk off to your old room as you step up the stairs and head towards your bedroom to clean yourself up as the door closes behind you. Is there anything anyone else wants to do before Orianna comes back and Lex?
Yeah,
I just want to say, just because this is gonna be quick, because I just want to try to get a short rest while
you would have it because it's now. Well,
okay,
you have to wait like an hour, but like by the time just before Lex comes, you would have.
Yeah, that's what I'm just all I'm trying to do. That's my spell slots.
How many doors are there in this room? Is it just the one where we came in?
It's just the double doors, yeah.
Just the double doors? Okay. Cool. At some point, I would have, if I could, do any kind of retroactive thing, I would have probably tried doing this whenever, like, everybody was in the middle of reading Campion for being wicked stupid. I would like to very quietly leave the room.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Yep. Let's see how poorly this goes.
Try to silently cling away.
I got boots, so it's not terrible. My stealth is still complete ass. So 8.
Everyone literally sees you trying to make your way to the door. As you guys are all berating sort of Campion for this, you guys all watch Quinn sort of making his way to the door.
Well, as soon as I know they see me, I'm just going to stop trying to be quiet about it and I'm going to walk out the door.
Okay, as you walk out this door, you see this half-elven gentleman look over at you. Sir? Can I help you?
Yeah, how you doing?
Bathroom?
No, where's the door out?
Points to the front of the where you came in, because you're right in the foyer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Points.
I'm gonna head outside.
Okay. He just watches you go, and you end up opening the front doors and heading out into that front courtyard area.
Okay.
You see the gates ahead of you.
Okay. And now I'm trying to remember exactly what you described as being out front. Was there it was just like the path up? Was there
there's
any,
a pathway
seating?
up. There's no seating. There's like grass on either side, a couple of hedges, And then you see guards kind of patrolling the various sides of the house. They don't walk in front of the gate. But they kind of like pass in front and then like continue sort of around.
Okay. In that case,
But there's no like benches on this side. It's a house, so it's like
that's fine.
You did see them in the from the bow window in the garden area, which was in the back.
that's fine. I just didn't know if there was anything right here. But what we do is just go out and just pick a direction, left or right, whichever is like closest from where the doors are, and just go around the side of the house, and then just like basically by the time he gets around the corner, just sit down on the ground and just lean up against the house and just
you
sit there.
Get to the side of the house and you kind of like push yourself up against the side of the house and like slide down and sit there. You are clocked by the various guards that are in the area, and they've seen you. No one comes to bother you. They're like, they know that you're guests, but they're just keeping an eye to make sure there's like nothing happening. But you're left there to sit. Is there anything specific you would like to do?
He's just sitting there and having a very unfortunate amount of time to think.
Okay, so you're just basically thinking in your head.
Yeah, he just needed to get out and get away from
fresh air. Got it. Okay. Anything else anyone specifically is doing?
No.
Okay. So, Orianna, eventually your shower finishes, your short rest finishes. I'll say, like, everyone can get a short rest. That's easy enough. No one's doing anything strenuous. You're all sort of relaxing. Quinn, do you eventually find your way back in, or are you just staying out there, basically?
I would be out there probably until I know about an hour had been up.
Okay. So
because I wouldn't want to be out there and miss the important meeting or anything. But
yeah. Go ahead and make a wisdom save for me.
Sure. Wisdom save. I'm pretty okay at those sometimes. 27.
Wow.
Okay. Easily enough, you're able to sort of break yourself out of your reverie and get yourself up and make your way back to the front door. You kind of knock on it. You're let back in. And guided back towards the conservatory. You make your way inside as Orianna is kind of coming down, cleaned up and ready.
And I'll be in the fancy blue dress of the current art.
Okay. So
Wardrobe
you see
change.
as she walks in, she's in a much more sort of militaristic sort of dress, similar to what her mother was wearing, just with like a skirt instead of or a dress instead of the pants.
Nice.
And maybe like 5 minutes later, whoever would like to make a perception check.
I'll perceive, maybe. I don't know.
I will.
Yeah, I'm
19.
going to consider I'm looking. That's an 8.
Oops, that's persuasion, not perception. My
Well,
bad.
what was the roll? I mean, just take the roll. It was a 10. So what's your perception?
It was a 12.
No, it was a 10. See the roll. The
Oh, no,
first
wait.
roll.
Oh. I'm
So
sorry, I'm
plus
looking at the wrong
5,
thing.
which is your perception. Okay, so 15.
Yeah. 15. Sorry.
Natural 1 for Campion. Okay. All right. So, Peregrine, you just briefly hear a low conversation of Helena just saying, "Hello," and you hear, "Hi, I'm supposed to. I have to meet your daughter." Right. Wasn't expecting you. Really?
Oh, of course, they didn't tell Mom.
I
mean, that was your job.
No. You don't know because anyway,
I
wasn't
go on.
expecting you. Your performances are lovely. Do you mind, my lady? And she says, "No, you are welcome, of course. Just interesting that you are a friend of my daughter's." I wouldn't go that far.
Harry's just like listening
Very-
raptly. She's not saying anything. She's just like every now and then her eyes will widen.
Sure, we're friends. That's fine. Everything will be fine. I'm just here to have a conversation with them. Oh, you're more than welcome. Of course. Any member of your group is always welcome. I wouldn't go that far either. And you just hear footsteps coming over towards the door. And Peregrine, you kind of like back up as you're like trying
Harry,
not
like,
to be.
scoots back as quickly as possible.
And eventually the door opens and Lex walks in, and the door closes behind her. And she says, "Okay, I'm here." So
And she used the door. Look at that.
why wouldn't I use the door?
They're giving me shit for something I said earlier.
Right. Okay. So, there's a lot apparently going on. You found Bardock.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Good news, found him. Bad news, he seems to be accused of killing children.
That's not like him.
We tend to
Claims.
think it's not true. It seems that because he knows things, they're trying to set him up. Or at least that's the gist I got.
What information did he give you?
He apparently saw the commander of the Strangled Vine working, speaking with someone carrying a symbol of a maroon pyramid with a skull.
That was, and she turns to you, Baltan.
I just nod
Your
there.
whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Well, I mean, if that's not supposed to be the case, I can see why he'd be in trouble. All right. So,
He also said that. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say he also had knowledge of them having meetings or meeting grounds somewhere near the Gilded Mountain.
Like the sewers underneath
sewers
and
near.
behind.
it's a pretty good place. The sewers under River End are pretty extensive. They go pretty far.
Also, the commander's name begins with a Z.
I don't know much about the Strangled Vine. I've not been really looking into them.
Yeah, I figured as much. But we got a letter, so there's that, I guess.
Well, Frayne's been holed up. I haven't really been able to get much on him. But likely if he saw you guys and knows what's going on, the likelihood of him doing anything is zilch.
Right.
So if he does anything, it's going to be under the cover of no one seeing him. Same with my guess, Orianna, if she's part of this. I've been trying to follow her movements and see what's going on, but she's just taking regular meetings, nothing strange or out of place. Same with Targa.
She also has a tie potentially with Asmodeus. I
Well,
don't
of course
know if
she
that
would.
helps us, but
If she does, I have no idea what it has to do with here or anything that we're looking into. It could. I'm not saying it couldn't. I just don't know. And if there's some tie with those fucks, then trying to look into it's going to be difficult because it's likely not going to be something you're going to see.
yeah.
I mean, my concern is that clearly there's something happening here, and it's big. If
There's
children
always
are-
something happen here.
Right. Okay.
Children are dying. Well, like family children?
No.
Children.
Street kids. Kids that would have worked with Bardock.
Right. Yeah, he would help them. I mean, the question is, well, my guess is that they're just a way to get the heat off of whoever's.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't kids, it would be someone else.
Right.
It's just unfortunate that it's kids.
Make it more believable it's Bardock and not someone else.
I mean, the reason they probably went after the kids is because Bardock's known to work with them. Help them.
Right.
But, if he was helping, I don't know, homeless old people, it'd probably be homeless old people. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is likely less we're focused on kids because they're kids, and more we're focused on kids because it's the easiest way to implicate someone else.
Yeah, literally the minute we asked about Bardock in the Ivory Steer, it was very clear he was persona non grata.
Right. Well, my guess is because he hasn't turned himself in and given his own testimony about what exactly happened, which wouldn't be probably too smart given who he's got information about. It kind of auto implicates him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because if you have nothing to hide, why are you hiding?
Right.
Precisely.
But my guess is he doesn't know who's connected with what, and this could just be a few people in the Strangled Vine, or it could be a full corrupt entire law of Riverend and further into Atral. So that's my guess is why. But it's also why probably he's going to be held as the main suspect for what's happened, because they can't rule him out, and he is the main one who's been in contact with the kids. And I'm glad he's alive. He is a wily fucker. He'll figure himself out. I don't think he'll either get out or find a way to figure this out. But I mean, if we're able to do what you were tasked with doing, then maybe he gets his freedom as well.
2 birds.
That's right. He's kind of just swept up in the proverbial hurricane.
Seems like a nice person. I would like to try and clear his name if we can.
He is not a nice person.
Yeah, I didn't get that from it.
I mean, he takes care of kids.
He's nice in the sense. Look, we all have demons in our closets,
right.
None of us are perfect. He's done a few fair share shady things in his past. He tries to make up for it, and he still does a few fair share shady things. And do not believe that he doesn't use those kids to his own ends as well. But he is not a child murderer. He is not. I will say that.
There's levels of gray people can deal with, though, however.
Exactly. But I get what you're saying, Orianna. I don't want him implicated as a child murderer. It's definitely not a sentence you generally come back from. Kind of like high treason. When your head's removed from your shoulders, and you can't really redeem yourself. You're just kind of dead.
Yes, that does tend to make it difficult.
It does, yeah. And child murderer.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever gets convicted of that probably never seeing the light of day again. All right, so you said that there might be a place where they're meeting in the sewers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Supposedly over by the tavern.
Right.
Yeah, behind
Where
the
we're
Gilded
staying.
Mountain.
So you planning on heading into the sewers there?
That is our plan. However, I might just be speaking for myself. I find it very curious that Efrain is also staying there.
He's not staying
So-
there.
Well, he was
He
seen
just
there.
frequents.
He's
Frequent
been there.
Yeah, sorry.
I mean,
yeah.
it's a very popular tavern. A lot of business
Right.
people and merchants high up or wealthy will go there to stay if they've got business in the city.
Right. Which it
So
makes seem
chose that location. I'm not saying he's not I honestly think he's
right.
entangled in something. I don't know what the fuck it is. If it's this, it smells like him, but I haven't yet tied him to anything. Found a little bit of information, but nothing that's going to be useful in this case.
I mean, with
but-
the amount of eyes on this, if he's, half as smart as anyone says, he's not going to make a move while we're still
Exactly.
in town.
Exactly. Or if he is, like I said, it's going to be in a way that no one will see.
Right.
So in that case, I think it'd probably be best if we tried our luck looking around there, seeing how he most likely won't be digging around there with so many eyes on this. Avoid
Sorry.
that conflict with him.
What do you want to do?
I'm saying for us to investigate this meeting spot
Yeah,
potentially.
I mean, you can.
Now that we know that with so many eyes,
Are you planning to go like now?
Probably not.
I mean, that's the question.
I mean, I stand by my decision to potentially do some scouting tonight
Right.
and actually know exactly what we're getting into before we decide to dip down into another set of sewers. Because, well, it worked so well the last time we did it.
That makes sense. Scouting is always good. Never hurts. I mean, even if you get nothing, it's still something. And at least you tried. So what, you're going to scout the inn tonight and what, come back here, rest it off, and then go in the sewers tomorrow? What's your plan?
That was my original recommendation.
I mean, I think that's probably the best idea.
I'm in agreement with that idea as well.
What about you two? Dumb and Dumber.
Ambien looks up and then at Baltame.
She's talking to you, not me.
Oh. I mean, I assume since we're usually referring to as impulsive and dumb.
Well, I mean, you're just not paying attention, so I guess you
Yeah.
just don't fucking care where you go? I guess if
Well,
you get a
no.
bullet in your back, you don't mind so much? What is it?
Well, no. I mean, most likely I can discern.
What, pick your nose?
No. I vote for. Well, I mean, it's a bad idea, but I vote for, most likely blowing it up.
Blowing what up? What are you going to
Okay.
blow up? The entrance to the sewers?
Well-
The whole tavern?
The tavern in general.
That
Wow, and you guys travel with this guy.
I'm beginning to wonder. No, I've been wondering.
Let me just ask you, man.
but
Yeah.
why?
Why? Yeah, what does that get you? What does blowing up an entire tavern get you? Other than, wanted by the entire country for blowing up a tavern for no reason.
Well, I mean, the tavern itself seems to be some form of haven or meeting
No.
place.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
No.
Well,
Behind
hang
the
on.
tavern.
Even if it is a haven, a meeting place, you have zero evidence of it. So
Well,
what's
that's-
blowing it up gonna do for
Well,
you?
that's with.
Other than
with
blowing
Cinder's
up all
idea.
your evidence.
Well, what's Cinder's idea of scouting out? I mean, if we have the chance to take them out, at least the majority, or if some.
What about all the innocent people that stay there and have no idea that these meetings are going on? Just blow them up too? You are a stone cold fucking bastard. Holy.
Campion's like, well, you know.
That's coming from Lex.
She just turns from Campion and she's like, okay, well,
Well,
I
from
see
what
where
I've
you're
discerned
from.
in their overall plot, seems to be affecting the entire city. So only minor casualties are implemented.
Right. So let me hear. If your mother and father were inside that tavern eating a dinner, you just blow it up with them inside, right? Even if they had no fucking clue what was going on. But you get 99% of all the bad guys. Still do it.
Maybe not my mother, but Theodore would understand.
What's happening right now?
So that's and you, big tall ginger.
Oh, that was the other idiot she was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's fair.
So
That
quiet.
includes yourself, though, however.
Yeah.
You do recognize
Are
yourself.
you
as being
are
an
you in
idiot
on
there.
the blowing up everyone in a tavern as well?
Oh, fuck no. I'm fine with whatever outcome. Make sure that the people that are murdering children meet the business end of my fucking hammer. If you're saying people were killing kids deliberately so they could have something to pin on this man, not that children happened to be dying and they decided to spin it and make it look like he was committing a crime, but they went out of their way to find homeless children, kill them in this fucking street, leave them there like garbage, just so they would be able to quiet down this man. I have heard few stories in my fucking life that would end in a more justified murder than that.
Right. So you want to murder the murderers.
I would like to find them and either kill them or bring them to assured justice. Either way is good for me. Whatever it is we have to do to make sure we all get out of that safe and alive.
But what's your plan? I guess is how do you murder the murderers? You don't know who the murderers are yet.
Also, what if the justice system is also corrupt at this point?
Campion, no more words out of you.
I feel like
Right, just blow up the whole town,
simply
apparently.
was option.
No, Campion, you're in the quiet box now.
Okay.
How are you all still alive? How has he not blown you up in one of the plots that you've been involved in? I mean, it sounds like you'd be justified casualties. I mean, if it was necessary.
I don't believe he has You don't have explosives, do you?
Do we want to know the answer to that?
Yes, so I can take them from him.
Oh, God.
That's fair. Campion, answer the man.
Not yet, but soon.
No, not soon.
No.
And he slinks
No.
back kind of like in the corner in his quiet box. And he starts reading his book.
Okay.
We're all gonna die.
What are we gonna do with
Maybe
that?
next time I kill one of us, I'll
Quiet
for him.
scene.
Oh, God.
You know what? If you do,
So yeah, what will be what's your plan to catch the bad guys? You're in on this scouting out and then coming back here to sleep and then going in the morning.
sounds like the best idea I've heard so far, honestly. I mean, try and get more information about where we're even going and who might even be there.
Understand, Quinn. I mean, I understand how you feel about wanting to do this, but should it come to the case where you get an opportunity to kill these people, you'll also condemn Bardock and everything he's doing to take the rap for it all.
I did say either kill them or bring them to assured justice. Either way is fine.
Just making
I would
sure.
prefer option A, just because I think they fucking deserve it.
I mean, he might use
I'm open.
the children for his own ends, but he's not murdering them. He's helping them and providing a place instead of sleeping in the streets.
I'm well aware of that. I was also listening to the conversation.
You do know that murder is murder is murder, right, Quinn? Just, I mean, it's no skin off my back, but I'm just making sure that you understand that you don't get to walk around pretending you're the paragon of justice when you
Never said
go and murder someone else.
Never said it was. Never
No,
said
but
it was anything. but I would.
Never mind.
No, please.
No, that's fine. Do what you want. Like I said, no skin off my back. It's just a decision you'll have to come to when the time comes, I suppose.
All I want is for the people who did what they did to pay for it in some real and meaningful way. If that involves them actually going to jail and standing trial and whatnot and make sure this man is cleared, I'm all for that.
Okay.
But if there is no other way to make sure that people like that don't get to do things like that again, other than removing them from this mortal coil.
That's fair. Hey, I have no qualms killing people when they need to be killed. But I also live a very different life than you do. So.
I'm discovering what kind of life I live is different every single day I wake up.
Right.
But,
Well, like I said, I guess that's a decision you'll have to make. And if you never find people who murdered those children, that's something you'll also have to live with. Because most likely this job that was done wasn't just one person. It wasn't just one decision.
Right.
If this was perpetrated by the Strangled Vine, that's an
It's an
organization.
organization.
Exactly.
On solace
And who-
in that.
Who pulls the trigger and who makes the orders are very different things.
I get what you're saying.
Well,
It'd be nice if things were simpler. There's just the one target.
Nah, they're never that simple.
I'm
Not in
coming to
places like
understand.
this.
Yeah, I'm coming to understand that. I hate it here.
I hate to
I'd
tell
like to
you,
just go on record.
it's most of the world.
I mean, kind of makes Dash look a little bit sweeter now, doesn't it?
No.
Dash is just as bad.
Yeah.
So's
I-
so's anywhere in Veladon.
Who's
So's
familiar with
anywhere
the
in
state there?
Seratan. Most places have their unscrupulous organizations that do what need to be done when it needs to happen. I'm not saying this needed to be done. I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff that happens that no one ever finds out about that keeps society moving the way that it does.
It just seems like this was found out about because it was intended.
Well,
to
this
be
I don't
found
think
out
needed
about.
to happen. I'm just going to
Well,
say that. But,
no,
but I'm just saying, like, these kinds of organizations are all over the place, and it doesn't matter how many weeds you pull. They always grow back.
That's the thing about invasive plants.
Well, Strangled Vine is an appropriate name then.
Kind of.
Well, that being said, I don't know what I want to do then.
Well, I think scouting's probably a good idea. All right.
Most likely.
Well, if that's what you're going to do, I can meet you in the morning somewhere, help you out. Or I can continue on my own investigation and meet you wherever we next meet. I can't do anything tonight. I got some other stuff to do.
That's all right.
Understand.
Fulton's out. He's back in Agraria right now.
Okay.
Right.
So I move
Yes.
that we at least pay the tavern a visit and see what passes through. Even if we don't stay the night there, we at least, grab a meal, some drinks, see what passes through. Even if we do end up returning here, that's better than sitting around doing nothing.
I agree.
Just gonna ask again, are you sure you wanna?
Yeah, I'm
Scout it.
wondering this. I'm wondering the same thing because if my memory serves, that was what I was suggesting to do before we came over here, and every single one is like, no, don't do that. That's
I did not
stupid.
disagree
Don't
with
do
you,
that
actually.
thing.
I was agreeing with you.
I'm just
sorry,
asking, are you
but
sure you
still.
want to scout it? Given everything you've learned and the eyes on you.
I mean, that's the thing, is I'm kind of afraid we're being followed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we never really said how many eyes are on us, correct?
Does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
I'm gonna take off my boot and just show them the monitor.
Well, there is that.
It's not just eyes.
Right. I mean, honestly, if we go down and if we scout, they're gonna know we're watching.
Well, they already know that we're. Well, assume they already know that we're looking into things.
Right,
That
but
only
they're
force
gonna know
people-
how close we are.
Campion starts raising his hand.
Yeah, Bomber, what do you want?
I would like to pull Campion's hand down.
What's up, Mad Bomber?
Okay. The monitor, other than, Orianna's monitor, it doesn't seem like they're, following us via magical means. So, really, only one of us needs to get away from the rest of the group in order to do the scouting.
We're not splitting the party up.
That sounds like
No.
a bad idea. What if you get killed?
Or captured. I mean, I'm starting to think that if we go and we scout ahead of time, we're just going to let them know exactly how close we are.
I mean, it's a help, but it's also a potential danger. That's all I'm saying. You're in a city where
Right.
every choice, every pro has its con.
Right. It's either
I'm not
that
saying it's
or
the wrong decision. I'm not saying it's the right decision. I'm just
Right.
saying think about it.
The
As-
options.
it's either that, scout now, or we'll go with no information in the morning, but potentially Lexo.
I mean,
There's two options I can see. And Barteem, you addressed it perfectly, but to clarify, we scout out the tavern and hope we find something. We don't know who's a part of the Strangled Vine. We don't know who's a part of the cult. So unless someone comes in emblazoned with either that of a secret organization or a cult, I don't know what information we would get. The only person we could probably recognize is Ephraim, and as like said, he's not going to be where he can be seen unless he wants to be seen.
Well,
Well,
I mean,
my-
depending on how stealthy you are, you might be able to follow someone around or
Gotta follow.
Yeah.
listen to
my plan for that-
conversations or whatever.
Yeah, my plan for that was to see maybe we stay inside, listen for conversation, and perhaps Perry as like a bird or something can keep an eye on the sewer,
it
Perch
could even
somewhere.
be someone as
see who leaves and
simple
exits.
as slipping through a back door, or you turn your head and someone is now gone. I mean, it could even be something as simple as that as we're looking for. The point is, we really don't know what we're looking for.
Right.
We have an option
Exactly.
to attain information tonight at a risk, or we have the option of going and scouting out a
Blind.
location tomorrow during daylight when things may not be happening, which may not be the worst idea.
I
Most
vote,
of these dealings would probably be done under the cover of night.
I vote we wait for tomorrow when the person who runs a successful, Quinn's just going to look at like quasi-legal organization.
Oh, in Dash, you mean?
Yeah, that
Oh,
thing.
it's legal.
All right, entirely legal,
A lot of
but
things
rather
are legal
secretive.
in Dash. Yeah.
Yeah. So I vote we wait for tomorrow when the person who runs a relatively legal secret organization and knows about, how to get in and out of secret places has offered to come with and assist us. That way we improve our own chances.
Yeah, I feel like we're not going to get much information trying to scout it out tonight. We're more likely to tip our hand or something go terribly wrong.
Right, we go tonight and then go again tomorrow.
Like I
That's-
said, there's pros and cons to everything. If they know what's going on, they could plan something tonight and then be doing something, or if they're, or they, could be lying in wait for you. I don't know, but like I said, there's pros and cons to everything. You might learn something. You might learn their numbers if you go tonight. You might see if there's a meeting going on if you go tonight. I don't know.
I mean, either way, I do feel as though we've done enough to at least stay Ephraim's hand, supposing he is at least involved for the time being.
If he's involved, he's definitely not been doing anything that I could see that was weird or out of place, more out of place for him.
Given our conversation with Cade, I mean, what we're doing seems to be doing exactly what he wanted. Not necessarily to find everything, but to at least slow it and stay
But again,
for a
if
bit.
Refrain's not the one that you need to worry about, and it's this organization, you're not stopping anything. Just because you have eyes on one person doesn't mean you have eyes on the entire organization.
Right.
And if they're using the sewers, they can get around pretty efficiently.
As a possible lead, it's better to be prepared than unprepared. I say, 2 of us go, the rest of us stay here. But
No.
we disguise the 2 people who leave. You're not listening to my idea.
It involves only some of us going and splitting up, and that puts us at a disadvantage if there's only some people going and everyone stays
The
back
2
here.
people who should go and are well equipped for this type of information gathering is Perry and Boltaim.
Come again? Sorry.
I second his confusion.
Thirded.
I mean,
I agree with your sentiment. I think we should go tonight. I don't agree with it just being only the 2 people.
I feel like, I'll be real honest, I feel like it's very dangerous to split our resources apart right now, specifically because once we are separated, we cannot communicate.
Right.
All right. So I'm not going to stay here for what you decide to do.
That's fine.
But
We'll let you know.
you let me know if you want me to be here in the morning or if you want me to meet you somewhere in the morning. I assume, Orianna, you can send me some missive to let me know.
I'll let you know.
Where you want me to be. If not, I'll continue on my own and do my own thing.
Right.
And I'll keep you updated if I'll know where to find you guys. It's not hard to track down the wanted woman in the country when I need to.
I imagine it'd be fairly easy.
All right. Well, I wish you guys luck. Whatever you choose to do, you choose to do. But give me a heads up. If I can help you, I will. I'm going to continue looking into Ephraim.
We thank you, Lex.
Best of luck to you.
She just nods and gets back up and heads back out the door. Closes it behind her. You hear footsteps walking away before silence.
I understand the desire for more information. Really, I do. But, splitting our resources is not exactly a great idea in a place where literally vipers could be around any corner.
This is
Also-
literally the only compromise we can receive, but you're not trying to listen. I understand that you're worried and nervous about splitting the resources, but at this point, if we all go, there's a possibility of warning the enemy. If we all don't go, then there's a possibility that they're doing something that we don't know about.
I really
Okay.
disagree with that point. We've only been seen together as a group.
Exactly.
I would think that would set them off otherwise.
Also, just because I don't
I'm
agree
stating
with you,
that we leave here, that 2 of you leave here disguised.
I am calm.
They already believe that the majority of
just
us, if
calm.
not all of us, are already in here. If 2 of us leave disguised, how would they even know?
I am
Because
calm.
Campion,
The magic is calm.
none of us look like any Trillans except me.
Okay.
Campion pulls out a device, puts it around his neck, and immediately changes his appearance into a Neutrillin.
Okay.
What did you just cast? Disguise self on you?
Alter self, actually.
You cast alter self on yourself.
Yes.
Okay, so when you do that, I will just let you know, because Campion would know this.
Yeah.
Alter self changes. So before you even cast a spell, because I'll just give you this. Alter self alters your physicality, which means no one would know that you have physically changed into, say, like a human or a half elf or an elf or whatever. However, it does not change your clothes. Disguise self is the illusion that illusifies all your clothes.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So changing into an Neutrillin,
Yeah.
there's no change. Like, what are you making yourself look like?
Right.
Because you're
Yeah,
still in
It's
all
more,
of
it's more
your.
like a race.
What I'm saying is you're still in all of your hex tech, like arcanotech gear.
Yeah. What was the Chamberlain's name again? I keep forgetting his name.
Karen.
Karen?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Karen.
he changes his appearance, his face into Karen, and is like, one of us, you can ask your mother to borrow some kind of servant's clothing. The person that changes their appearance makes himself look as a servant going out for errands. Perry disguises herself as a small animal and hides herself on the person's person. The person leaves.
Okay.
I will also say,
I
by
won't
the way,
just-
alter self is only on self. No one else
Yeah.
can cast. You cannot cast that on someone else. You can only cast that on
Yeah,
yourself.
so-
So right now you look like Kieran. You've used the spell slot,
Yeah, I use some spell slot.
but you know that you cannot cast alter self on, say, like Baltaim. Baltaim has to disguise himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Self is in the name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this was on to himself as this point if he were to go, but it's like
Yeah.
we could disguise someone as help to get out of here. Yes.
Okay. 1. And let me make this abundantly clear, as I am trying to mind my temper today. Just because I don't agree does not mean that I am not listening. I am listening. I hear you. I know what you want to do and why you want to do it. I disagree. There's a difference. I'm always listening. I'm always watching. It's kind of my thing. 2. I am not sure that there is enough to be gained by trying to slip down there among people who are literally the spy network for this place. And from what I have learned about spies and sneaking about, these are the experts. I don't think that there is enough to be gained doing that to run that risk, especially splitting us up. Also, my transformations only last for 4 hours. No, I'm sorry. 3 hours, I think. Hold on. It's half rounded down. Still.
Half is 4 because you
Half is
were
4.
8 druids, so you.
Yeah, I'm
4
8
hours.
druids. I was
Multi-classing
miscount-
complicates matters.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
miscounting.
Yep.
I can only maintain that for 4 hours. And while I will maintain my intelligence, my ability to perceive, I may not have my dark vision. I will not have any of my physical capabilities to be fast or to necessarily be sneaky.
She also can't talk.
Precisely. I understand that going in blind is dangerous. As I've said before, I may talk slow, but I ain't stupid. And it's high time certain individuals stop treating me as such. But if we tip our hand, and only part of us go We could run the risk of one of us being killed or worse, captured. And we will have gained nothing. We don't know where we're going or what we're looking for. We'll be just as blind tonight as we would be tomorrow. And also, do not presume to use my abilities without asking me whether I am willing or not.
Campion, your idea has a lot of merit. I don't deny that. If it were possible for us to be able to all do that, to all disguise ourselves, I would be willing to go with you on your plan. But like Peregrine suggested, separating us, that just makes us weaker. Every time we're divided, whether it's emotionally, physically, we always perform less effectively. I want as much information as possible going into this. My concern is, especially if we only send 2 people, the amount of information we can get is not worth the risk of potentially losing those 2 people. We're not trying to spy on some prissy noble, I'll point at myself, who is generally unaware of themselves. These are spies, these are assassins, these are the boogeymen that children hear stories about that are told to be good, or else they'll get you. And for good reason. My personal opinion is that we don't take the unnecessary risk. I love my home. I love my people. But this place is dangerous. If I am outvoted and we want to spy, then we do it together. All of us.
I also, that's more my position than Campion's position. I think I understand both y'all, well, Orianna's and your Paris, not wanting to risk our hand, but I'm more of in that mode of thinking of doing potentially gaining something tonight, so tomorrow will be more effective. But I want us to be all together.
I agree with you, Baltaine. I think that if, and I don't think going tonight is a good idea, but if we do, better to be together in case they're lying in wait.
But again, if I'm outvoted and we decide to stay here and wait for tomorrow, I will go with our decision. Again, I understand both sides of this.
I can't help but feel, Campion, and I'm being very honest here because I believe that you need to understand how your point of view affects us all. You are very reckless with your own life and with the lives of others. The fact that you thought, even for a moment, that, well, if we just blow up that tavern, problem solved, lives lost, not a big deal, is callous and unconscionable. And to be honest, makes me wonder what kind of person you really are as a part of this group.
First off, you believing I meant that information clearly means that you have no idea who I am. I said that in front of her because I don't trust her either.
Then you are a liar and on top of being a fool. Why? We need allies, champion.
Are you making it somehow your job to alienate anyone we come across that's fucking nice to us? And yeah,
No.
Lex can be a right awful bitch, but she's at least been in our
Champion
corner.
puts up his hand and he's like, you know what? It's fine. This is why I don't talk a lot and I just absorb everything. Because all of you keep talking in circles about doing this and doing that instead of actions, and you keep trusting people.
I'm just gonna walk over to Campion and put my hand on his shoulder. We were very reckless when we first started journeying together, and it cost us a friend.
Yes, and now all of you are too scared to do the things that need to be done. Sometimes you need to split the party. Sometimes you need to take actions.
Champion.
I faced down a dragon for you.
Campion walks away.
Okay. Are you walking out?
Yeah, he's walking out of this room.
Okay, so
I'll follow Campion.
Okay, so you exit the room. Are you like exiting the house?
No, he's just going
Out into the foyer?
Just
to cool off. Okay.
Yeah.
You exit out in the foyer, and there's the guard there, but lets you, no problem. And you're kind of like just standing there. You kind of like find like a corner to just cool off. Baltaim walks out. You see Campion. You walk out after him. You see him kind of like lean against a wall on like the opposite side of the foyer.
Take it from someone that risks many of things, does many actions without thinking about them. From hell or high water to what the group thinks. Without those people, I'd be dead. Sometimes you have to trust people. Doing everything yourself, being a renegade.
I'm not trying to do everything myself, Baltaim.
I got you. I understand.
And I'm not trying to be reckless. I just think differently from all the rest of you. All of you think within this box of limitations. I think outside of it. Because that's just how I've thought since the beginning of my life. I'm sorry that you can't comprehend it, and I'm sorry I can't clarify it in simple terms.
Can't be.
I don't mean to be the person this way. It's just difficult.
You're talking to someone that
and then his
teleported
eyes begin to
into a
start
plant.
changing again.
Okay.
And it's like, you never listen to me. No one ever listens to me unless they want something from me. And then after I'm done, they go and they do their own actions.
I need you to make a wisdom save.
Okay.
I was like, me?
That's a dirty 20.
Okay. You feel like anger and rage come over you. But you're able to kind of like hold on to it.
Okay.
All the time you see the eyes change to those like red eyes with like the goat sort of like line pupil.
I'm just gonna try to put like a hand, like just kind of like, all right, okay, breathe, take a breath.
He breathes, and he's like, and he looks up to you, and his eyes have changed back.
Yeah, he
Baltaim,
blinks and they're back to normal.
You all mean a lot to me, and no matter what you think, I don't take any of your friendship and none of your kindness as for granted. But sometimes actions need to be done. There's something going on, and I feel like if we don't go there, there is an opportunity that is wasted.
And I agree with you. I also want to go, Campion. But sometimes, not everything we want is what we have to do. And I'm slowly and struggling to get to there. And I don't always do what I'm saying to you to do. But right now we have to think with the thoughts of others in mind, not just ourselves, not just doing an action just to do it. I agree. I understand where you're at. I completely do. But sometimes it can get you in more trouble than you ask for. And if you're willing to walk that road, let me tell you, it's not a road that you walk with a lot of people on it. Very, very few to come along with you.
KP looks down at his feet, and then he brings his eyes back to yours. He's like, I understand. And then he looks at the door. I guess we should go back.
All right.
You guys head back to the conservatory?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything specific you guys would do while they kind of like ran out?
Harry is literally pacing, and she has developed a mantra for minding her temper. She's just, if I am calm, the magic stays calm. If I am calm, the magic stays calm. And she's just like centering herself.
Yeah, the one thing you've noticed in like all of these moments, even when like your emotion spikes, that feeling of control loss has gone away.
Okay.
It feels like you have been given enough knowledge
To rein it in?
Yeah, in the sense of what Coralon gave you in that short moment where you kind of like gain the knowledge of those, how to weave those threads and how to cast those spells, that you likely won't lose control just willy-nilly anymore.
Right.
Maybe in a very, very heightened situation it might happen, but generally if you're just like angry or upset or something like that, you won't lose control like you did. However, there is the potential when you're actually casting your magic, because you're still learning, you may have certain things that don't cast quite the way that you were hoping. But you get the sense that you're able to calm yourself now enough and be aware enough of that feeling within you, that well within you, that you don't accidentally tap into it.
Right. That's kind of what Perry's been working on now, is like she realizes like if I maintain my temper here and don't let it get up here, I won't explode, and that's what she's trying to train herself to do. But once she's done that, she'll take a deep breath. I'm not risk averse. Y'all know that, right? Like, I literally stood by myself in front of a dragon because y'all were all down. And I chose to veer away from the path that I have known my whole life, to take a very difficult and dangerous path to learn to control something like this magic.
Yeah.
There's risk, and then there's calculated risk. There's risk you have to take, and then there's recklessness. I don't want to be reckless anymore. Reckless got Dobby killed. Reckless caused what happened in Cage Barrow.
Yeah, I'm well aware.
Reckless has done a lot.
No one thinks you're risk averse. At least I don't.
I understand what he's saying. I really do. Don't get me wrong. If I thought that we could safely gather more information as a group before we went tomorrow, or that we were going to get more information there, if I thought it was worth the risk, I'd take the risk. But I feel like something tells me if they know we're here and we're watching them, they could be lying in wait. And with no way of getting back to y'all, I can't cast that send-in spell. Neither can Baltane.
Right.
And I can't speak once I'm a bird.
Yeah, the only person that can cast it would be sitting right back here going by his plan.
And I just don't know that we'll gain enough. Now, if y'all think that we can gain enough, then so be it. But I feel like we're getting right back to where we were before. We're fighting too much amongst ourselves, and there's something way bigger to be fighting.
And at this point, Campion and Boltane walk in. Walk back in.
Eregin, before I forget, what magic do you have in your staff at the moment?
I think she still has mirror image and whatever that other spell you put in there.
Yeah, I've still got mirror image, and I'm pretty sure shield.
I think so.
Yeah. Let me check. Yeah, I've got shield and mirror image. I haven't used it. I mean, I won't cast through it unless I absolutely have to.
I mean, you can discharge it if you want. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to get rid of what's in there,
Yeah.
just discharge it. You can.
I could put sending in there, but again, I am not.
It's one shot of send-in,
Yes.
and I could only use it if we'd been made and I had to shift back.
No, at that point, really, I mean, things have already gone tits up.
I mean,
Oh,
I mean, if we could communicate, I'd be more willing to consider it, to be honest. But I don't think Orianna's really equipped for this sort of information gathering in the first place.
No, seeing as how she has one of the most famous faces in this entire place right now.
Right.
I just look around. How does it feel having your face on every corner, being that well renowned? Everything you dreamed of?
I mean, it's not the worst picture of you I've ever seen.
Oh, it's slightly flattering.
yeah, there's one in the hallway of her embraces. I mean, that could have been probably worse.
Yeah, you figured they'd take that out, you know? Like,
Hi guys, how's it going?
Very Scarlet.
Someone out there-
play some music.
Just high gear is just so hard to jealous. Okay.
Someone out there, please draw Orianna with headgear.
Yeah.
oh, yes.
I'll give you a shout out. So we need a plan. No matter what we're going to do from here on out, we need a plan.
Well, let's figure out what we're gonna do first. I would suggest, right? I don't have any hard feelings one way or the other. I made my peace. I think luck favors the bold, but how we see fit, we see fit.
I understand the idea and, you know, the possible merits of it, but let's look at it this way. We are a rather conspicuous bunch of assholes. We've got a man mountain in a very fine hat who is carrying quite a few weapons bristling off him at any given time. We also have a very large blue gentleman, heavily armed and armored as well.
Well, you look good as yourself. Thank you.
I was going in order by height, so I was getting to me as well. Then there's me. I just go clang, clang.
All right. I mean, that considered, Campion's idea of disguising ourselves is not a bad one. That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know how I disguise myself because I'm not taking any of this shit off. I can't if we expect to maybe run into trouble. I will be fairly useless.
Now, one thing that we could, and I didn't think of this until just now, we have always operated on this sort of, and it's worked really well. Hell, it's been Campion's idea a couple of times to send a couple of people in while some others stay as lookout. I deeply dislike the idea of us being here and someone being way over here. However, the idea of being in closer proximity makes me less nervous. My thing is, if we could work out a way to be close enough that if things went pear-shaped, we could intervene. I'd be more willing to take that risk. It'd be a much more calculated one. Does anybody have any idea how we could pull that off?
Nope.
I mean, typically, I stand lookout, but
Yeah.
I can also read lips.
Exactly. I was going to say you can see basically everything. Having you being in the room where it happens.
The room where it happens.
I know what I said, woman.
Anyway.
Might be of more use.
Right, that's what I'm
than
saying.
Putting you outside.
I mean, go ahead.
Campion's plan would be, I think, the ideal. Him disguised as someone else.
Mhm.
Peregrine as an animal.
Mm-hmm.
Something discreet that could move about the area either undetected or at least unbothered.
There's always a rat. Lord, I hate being a rat.
Is that really undetected? If someone sees a rat in a...
Sure, yeah, rat would not be a good idea.
Not in this type of establishment, anyway.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, I'm confused.
This place is...
The Guilty Mountain is very high-end.
Yeah, this place is upscale enough that they wouldn't want
where we're
rats.
scouting. I'm very confused as to where we're scouting. I thought we were...
My idea was to scout the tavern and potentially the
That's where I
roads and
thought we were
alleys
going.
behind the tavern, so I don't understand any of this argument.
Yeah, that's what I thought we were talking about.
Well, see, because part of what had me concerned was that we were, not scouting the tavern. We were scouting the meeting spot.
Well, we don't know what that is.
Potentially the entrance to a sewer, which we might understand where that is, should we have a look around. I never once suggested we go inside and poke around in the middle of the night.
Okay, well that changes things slightly. I mean, there is no animal I could be that would be unbothered in an establishment as decent as that.
Yeah, I was more along the lines of we would be in the tavern and you would look at the street of the area, see look out the sewer area, kind of see what happens around the area necessarily, maybe on the top of the tavern.
Birds on the building.
Now that I could get away with, maybe.
There's an owl.
I'm sure I could become some sort of bird that's native here. I've seen enough. That being said, if we want to try that, I feel as though there's less danger of being attacked in essentially broad daylight in the middle of a tavern.
Unless they're all strangled by them, and then otherwise.
Yeah, I feel like
right, unlikely. But I'm saying
that's highly unlikely.
I mean, it's not unlikely that maybe the tavern owner might be in on it.
Right.
Considering who all comes in, it just makes sense.
Right.
I mean, that's fair. I highly doubt the entire place is nothing but
Eyes.
Campion, how long does your magic, or how long does the
disguise work?
Thing work?
There's enough power for an hour.
An hour. Okay. Well, I think we're more than an hour away, so we'd have to duck into an alley or something.
Mm-hmm.
Which
is fine.
Orianna, you can make people invisible, or that just can't be.
It's only for a minute.
Oh, okay, that's right.
You can do pretty much anything without it breaking your invisibility, but it's very short.
Very short, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's not going to do us a lot of good.
No, yeah.
No, we need.
No, I can make people invisible, but it's also for an hour.
Right. Okay.
And
you can't concentrate on both. It's one spell at a time.
Well, he can only do one more, anyways.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
Well, there's that too.
Assuming we're again going to the tavern, what's the point of the disguise?
I mean, they've seen our faces.
We literally have rooms at that tavern.
Which you also know you'd have to take back. You would at least have to take back your keys.
Yeah, we do have to take back our keys.
If you don't want to stay there.
Hold on. If we got to take the keys back,
might as well stay for a little bit for a drink,
We go, we eat, we drink, we keep our heads on a swivel.
Exactly. That way it doesn't look like we're going there for anything other than we just decided to get accommodations elsewhere. We go, take the thing back. We all were there. We can just do a quick walk round.
That's a fine excuse to get us out there. The disguise would be for the purposes of us being able to
Slink away from whoever's following us.
Well, we don't even need to do that necessarily, but the point of the disguise, I would assume, is so that you could be able to spy without them recognizing that it's us, the people who all very much stand out.
That as well.
The problem is if we're disguised and we try to return our keys, it's going to look real weird.
There's that.
I mean, why don't we just... We have to go back there anyway. They know we have to go back there anyway.
Right.
If they've got eyes in the tavern.
Right.
I'm not against that.
And right now, here's what it's going to look like. Unless someone has literally mapped out our every single move and is listening to our conversations actively right now, it will look like we stayed there last night. We left to go look around through town, ended up coming back to the home of our one local resident, found out we can stay here for 0 money, decided to go back to the tavern, return our keys and terminate our business there, but maybe grab a drink and a bite while we happen to be there, because I imagine it'll be dinner time or close enough by the time we arrive. Then we maybe take a quick walk around the perimeter, just, make it look like we're enjoying the evening, taking a stroll, and then make our way back. Sounds harmless enough. And if anyone was watching us, I don't know if they'd really think we were up to something, if that's all we're doing.
I mean, that was my original idea. My original intention was to do what we were normally doing, but pay extra attention until we're ready to make a move.
See, that was the plan I had, only I figured we would do that, then we would just go back to Orianna's mom's house. We come back here, rather than sleep in a place where we know danger would be lurking. So I apologize, Campion. I completely misunderstood things. I do that sometimes. Because I really, thought we were doing something entirely different. I do think that we should take the keys back. And it's not hard for me to look around.
Then we'll want to get moving soon, I think.
At this point, it's probably close to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
How far away are we? How long would it take to get there?
An hour, maybe?
Yeah, it's
About
an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I said something about not.
All right, so you
disguising
guys are gonna start to get ready to head out of the Scarlet Estate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we borrow Achillean clothing. Well, Campion does.
Okay, so Orianna, you're going to ask your Chamberlain for
some clothes for Campion.
Okay, so just some generic Trillin male clothing.
Yeah, just something that we have lying around.
Easy enough to get old clothing, but of the culture of your city. So they hand it to you, and it is some of your father's old clothing.
Nice.
Mm.
And I'll give it to Campion. While the rest of you prepare, I'm going to go see my mother.
All right. Let her know we are very grateful for the ability to stay here.
I will.
Campion, I have an idea. Since you're the one wearing the clothes, if you wanted to wander a bit, I could enhance your abilities to either investigate or just in general look around. A little fox's cunning or a little owl's wisdom.
Hold on. My perception's +6, but my investigation's +10. That would be sick if I had more investigation.
Well, what doesn't give you more? It just gives you advantage. It gives you advantage.
It gives you advantage.
Which is
I'm
more
offering you
investigation.
advantage.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to, make it sound.
Well, you know what
narratively
she's
cool.
You know what she's done before because you've seen her cast enhanced.
I do it a
Quinn
lot.
and stuff like thought so.
It's my go-to support spell.
Yeah, I pretty much whiff on perception, so I will take that advantage on perception.
Okay, so when we get there, I will just casually pat you on the back and give you a little owl's wisdom.
Okay.
But we'll wait till we get there.
All right, so as you guys kind of get yourselves ready, start collecting your things, and wait for Orianna to have the conversation with her mother, that is where we're going to take our break for tonight. So everyone, please stick around. We will be back for more of these shenanigans in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere. We're just going to use the restroom, grab a drink, stretch our legs, and we will be back very shortly.
Yup.
Hello and welcome back. We are going to jump right back in. So, Orianna, we'll start with you. You step outside and find your Chamberlain and Kieran, and you ask for your mother, and he says she will be down just shortly. I'll go see for her. And about 3 or 4 minutes later, you see your mother coming down from the staircase. Orianna.
Hello, Mother. We are going to the Gilded Mountain.
I see.
We have rooms there, so we're going to return our keys. And then likely we will be returning back here later tonight.
Oh, very well then. I will get the rooms ready so that you may have somewhere to stay this evening.
Thank you.
Please let me know if there are any changes or if you cannot make it back. I know things change depending. But I will let the staff know that we are expecting you and that you will be back. I likely will not be here, as I will be performing this evening, but everything should be prepared for you, should you need it.
And my friends wish to thank you again for allowing them to stay here.
Well, your friends are very welcome, Orianna.
And I'll just kind of hug her again.
She'll give you a hug and a kiss on the top of your head. And she'll just say, now, you be safe as you can. And I will see you in the morning.
Yes, that sounds good.
Have a good night, Orianna. And I am glad you are home.
I'm glad to be back.
I'm
sorry.
It is all right. You are more grown up than I ever expected, but I know I can't keep you here forever. Just a heads up next time. Of course. She just pats your hand and nods at you and heads off back to one of the rooms.
Now I'll go find my friends.
All right. Eventually you all convene, grab your things, and head back out the front gates to make your way into the city. You are let out by the staff and wished a good evening, and you begin making your way towards the Gilded Mountain. And it's about an hour before you get close to it. But eventually you start coming upon the streets where you know you are within a short jaunt to the inn. Is there anything you would like to do specifically before you get there? Or are you just going to head straight inside?
Campion, you're gonna have a look-see?
Yeah. I mean, wait. Question. Out of character. Are we all going in there right now?
Well,
We're about
you're
to.
like maybe a street or two back from where the tavern is.
Okay.
So they're all gonna go in, I think, to like
Yeah,
return the
return
keys
our
and
keys
have
and stuff.
do whatever and hang out for a bit. I don't know if there was something specific you wanted to do.
No. But he's gonna have Greybone with them. He does have to change. If you're okay, so you. Okay, are we having?
Are you just
Campion
going
do the-
inside the tavern with the rest of them?
Right.
I guess is my
Are you
question.
deciding your alter yourself, or you?
Yeah, because
Someone
I thought we were gonna go in and then Campion was gonna kind of dip off and then change and then.
That's up to
you know.
Campion. I don't
That's
know
up
what
to
your plan
Campion.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
okay.
don't.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
so you're
let me know what
waiting.
you're doing.
Okay, so you guys
Yeah.
are all just heading towards the tavern.
Why don't you just go into the room to change
Yeah,
before
exactly.
we turn in the keys?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you all head towards the tavern. You can see it's getting busier as it's starting to become dinner time. It's close to like 6 o'clock at this point. People are coming in from dinner, finishing work. And you make it inside the tavern. Same space. Same as you kind of left it before. You are at the Gilded Mountain. You see that
So-
female elf tending the bar. A few other servers kind of moving around.
Specifically, what I kind of want to be looking for as I eat and go through everything, excuse me, are people either like dipping into, say, like a back area, or people like coming up to the bar for an abnormally short time and then leaving, you know, stuff like that.
Okay. So are you're all going to find like a table?
Yeah.
Actually, I have a question before we
Okay.
figure that out. About how big is the room?
Fairly
Like,
large. This is a
fairly
fairly
large.
large tavern. This is a fairly large establishment.
Okay, because knowing that, my suggestion would be, and this is if we could have had this idea before, so we're not trying to talk it out while we're in the middle of the place, since we know like the layout of this area,
Mhm.
would be, since it is large enough to like segment off inside the room a little bit, like a couple people get a table in one area, a couple people to get a table up the front. Cynric is just at the bar maybe, or basically we break down like 2 by 2,
Okay, that's fair. You can do that.
That's a good idea.
because that way we got more
It's
eyes
probably
and more
easier
places.
there that way to find like tables and places to sit too, because a
That
larger
too.
group
In a
at
rush.
this time, in the rush period, probably be
Yeah.
a little bit more difficult. So who's sitting with who?
Where in the relationship, I guess, in the bar is because there's like a gambling.
So there's like booths. There's like
craps
booths.
table.
Not in this one. That was in.
Not in this one.
That was in the Ivory Steer.
That was the Ivory Tower.
Oh no, no,
Yeah.
that was in
Yeah.
this one. No, that was in this one.
Yeah, I was like,
Sorry,
I thought
Oh,
this
yeah.
one was
Craps
the craps
table is in one corner.
I'll be
one
around the
corner.
craps table.
Okay, so you're hanging around the craps table. You do see quite a few people kind of getting into it still. It's not as busy as you initially saw it that evening that you were there, because it hasn't got you feel like people start to get into more gambling mood once they've had a few drinks, had their
Drinks,
food
yeah.
and eating. There's a couple of people around the table right now, but you kind of like step over to it and are kind of like just watching for a bit as the game goes on. So Baltaim's over there. There's booths along like one corner of the wall, and then there are like larger tables and smaller tables in like the main area, and then there's like the long bar.
Okay. I would try and get a 2-person table with Perry, just
Okay.
somewhere round about
Okay.
the middle. That way she's centralized and her.
Okay.
So So you find one of the smaller tables that's kind of like off to one side, but in sort of like the central area of like the dining area.
Yeah, give her the best shot for her spidey sense.
Okay.
Nice.
In that case, I will be with Baltaim, and I'll just kind of like walk up to him and hook my arm into his, and just like kind of put on that persona of the two who are dating or whatever, just to kind of give a reason.
Okay.
Blowing the dice occasionally, that sort of thing.
So you're over by the craps table with Baltaim?
Yeah, I mean, if he starts playing, like, I'll play the role, but...
Okay. And Sinric, where are you? And Campion,
I'm gonna be... Oh, I thought Campion was, like, going up to get changed.
I don't know. Is he going right away, or are you guys getting food first? Like, what do you...
Yeah, he's waiting for everyone to get to the table, and then he's gonna slink off.
Yeah, I'm just going up to the bar.
Okay, so Sinric, you're finding a place at the bar.
Yeah, I'll probably... Well, probably towards the end of the bar.
Okay, so you go towards the end of the bar. It's fairly busy, but you're able to find a seat, like, just, like, maybe 2-3 seats off the end of the bar.
And then, it's like I said, specifically people, like, disappearing into
All right.
corners and stuff like that.
Campion, where are you going? So you watch all your friends kind of, like, go off and find places to hang out, and you're going just straight up to the room?
He's still by Perry, because Perry hasn't tapped him on the shoulder.
So as everyone's starting to filter out to walk, Perry, you're just going to slap him on the back?
Yeah, I'll just pat him on the back.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Giving him Owl's wisdom?
Yeah. Owl's wisdom, because he asked.
And then you're going straight up to your room, Campion?
Yeah, I'm going straight up to the room.
Confuse you? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to have Greybone follow and kind of just like sit by Sinric. So he's just gonna follow where Sinric goes.
All right, so he's just
sitting. And then Campion's gonna slink upstairs, and he's gonna get these pants, over his leg brace, and then he's gonna take off
there's no way the pants are going over your leg brace.
There's no
way over your armor and all of your equipment. Nice fine clothes are going to work. Like, these are clothes, so either your armor and shit is coming off, or your but I will say this, with the alter self magic, it alters your body. So whatever issues you have with your leg and your arm will not transfer through with this magic. It's the one thing about this magic.
Cool beans. So that's what's gonna happen then. He's gonna strip off completely butt naked and get these nice Citrullian clothes on.
Yeah, you strip down into your like underclothes or whatever, and then you're able to get the nice Citrullian clothes on.
And then he just shoves everything in his kind of bag.
And what are you making yourself look like?
He's gonna make himself look like as the guy with the most basic face possible, where like you just kind of like glance at him and you just don't remember. So just like really
a human?
Yeah, just a human.
Okay, so just generic human dude.
Yep, generic.
All right.
Hi, I'm Norman.
I'm Norman.
All right.
Norman Humanman.
All right, so you get all that. Eventually, you get yourself settled and come out of your room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And where are you heading?
There's only one staircase. So he's just gonna head back down, act as inconspicuous as possible, and then he's gonna take a quick look around the bar, and then he's gonna exit kind of around.
Okay. You take a quick look as if you're, just coming down from getting yourself ready for the evening, and you walk out of the bar. None of you know who this gentleman is. None of you have any idea. You just ignore, because he doesn't look like anything your friend looks like. You have no idea who's staying here, and it's quite a large establishment.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Campion, you head outside. The rest of you, are you getting like food, drinks while you're waiting, or are you just like chilling?
Yeah, I'm doing that, but I'm also, anytime someone wins big or like wins in a good way, I'm gonna try to get around for the table, like for that craps table, essentially.
Okay. Yeah. Are you also gonna play?
Not yet.
Okay.
So I just want to get everyone a little bit
in yet. Yeah, you're getting everyone
a little looser.
All right. So for those of you who are getting food and drink, I'll just say, like, for the initial, I'll say probably like say like a silver a person
Okay.
to start.
I got you right, Orianna.
Okay.
Quinn's buying.
Okay, so 2 silver for Perry and Quinn, 2 silver for Baltaim and Orianna, 1 for Cedric and Campion. You're walking outside, so you step outside this establishment.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? Still light out right now. It's not quite dark yet.
Yeah, there's no like I kind of check the alleyways to see if there's anyone, just chilling over by there.
Okay, make a perception check.
And that's with advantage.
Advantage, yeah. Okay,
cool.
19.
That is a 19.
You take a look as you kind of like just walk generally sort of by the first alley and then kind of like make your way back to the other, because there's like 2 on either side. And as you look down each one, so far, don't see anything.
Okay.
But it's fairly, like, again, it's only maybe like quarter after 6 at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's still light out. The sun hasn't quite gone down yet.
Wait, and remember, this tavern is by one of the walls, right? Like the alley is like it just ends at a wall, or do they keep going to another?
Keeps going.
Oh, they keep going. Okay. Okay. But most of the action's going on inside, correct?
I mean, right now, there's a lot of people like coming, and you see more people like filtering in for dinner. The dinner crowd to come and fill the tavern.
Okay. I'm going to kind of look around to see just the perimeter of this tavern, like nonchalantly.
Okay, so you're gonna walk it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be nonchalant because there's no need for me to be stealthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you start to walk around the tavern, and you do notice at the back. There is a sewer opening, or not an opening, but like a cover.
A grate.
Yeah, not a grate.
Okay, cool.
Like an actual a manhole cover.
Oh, like a manhole. Okay. Can I do an investigation to see if this has been opened recently? Like moved around.
Sure. Make an investigation.
Okay. That is a 24.
It's definitely been opened, but you can't tell the exact hour time of when it was opened.
No, but I'm just trying to see if there's a lot of foot traffic, like if there's a lot of scrapes and like maybe footprints.
That you don't see. You don't see a lot of scrapes. It doesn't seem like it's been scraped or anything like that, or hastily put back on. You do know it seems like testing it. It's definitely not rusted shut or anything like that. When you gently tug on it and stuff like that, it definitely feels like it can be lifted fairly easily. But the one thing that you're not certain of is was it opened because people are using it for a specific purpose, or because there's cleaning and maintenance? Yeah, exactly. So you're not 100% sure of, unless you've investigated further within. But you do know that it's definitely had use, and it's definitely not out of use to the point where you'd have to pry it really heavily off, like as if it's rusted shut or there's any issues with it.
Were there any doors around this tavern, or was it just a singular door at the front?
You do see a back door. That seems to have crates piled up beside it and some garbage beside it as well. Seems to be a back entrance where they might use it for getting rid of kitchen refuse and things like that before they take the trash out too, for when it gets taken out for the city.
Okay, cool. So after my full rotation, I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna sneak up by the gambling crowd.
Okay. Are you just gonna stand there and hang out? You gonna play? Get a drink? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, Campion's he's gonna pull out 10 gold.
Okay.
He's gonna, play. This is a craps table, right?
It is a craps table.
Okay.
Okay, so you pull out 10 gold, and are you cashing that in for a full like number of chips for 10 gold's worth of chips?
full table,
Okay.
number worth of chips, yeah.
And as you're like cashing out the for the chips, and you get given 10 gold worth of chips, you see a waitress come by, and because you're playing, and this you notice, Baltaim, as well, much like any casino, when you play the actual game, drinks are free because you are paying into the house.
Okay.
So, Campion, you are offered a beverage if you want one. Do you wish to partake?
No, actually, Campion, he is gonna partake, but he's not gonna drink. He's gonna pretend like he's drinking, if possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you order just like what?
Let's just say a really kind of fruity cocktail.
Okay, you order some fruity cocktail, and eventually it gets brought to you. And you pretend you're sipping on it, but you're not.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so as the rest of you are eating and drinking and partaking, Cynric, go ahead and make a perception check for me. Peregrine, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Yup. Okay, perception.
Perception.
Oh, that's a 23.
Damn, dude.
That's 21.
Okay. You so Cynric, you're kind of like looking for anyone like going in and out. The only people you notice going like so far in like the first, say, like hour and a half or so, going in and out of the back rooms are staff, seemingly going into the kitchen to get meals and bring them out, or the bartender herself going to the back to get something or talk to the staff or whatever, and then coming out. You do occasionally see someone you haven't seen before come out, but they come out and you see them like go outside for a moment, and then you eventually see them like come back in. You assume like a kitchen staff, and they seem like dressed like they had just taken off like an apron or something like that. You assume like a kitchen staff taking a break for fresh air or whatnot to take a moment, whether it be for a smoke, just fresh air or whatever. But you do see them come back in. You don't see anyone where like one person comes in and like another person goes out or something like that, like as if a face has changed or anything like that. There is one point at around the end of this like hour and a half mark, you do see a couple of other people come in, but it looks like it's like a staff change for the evening, as you see like other people leave and you see those people start to cater to tables and stuff like that, likely to be like that was like the afternoon evening shift, and this is like the night to late night shift that's coming on. Peregrine, and the one thing I will say, it's very busy. You try to keep tabs on most people, and nothing strikes you out as odd of someone being there 1 minute and like disappearing the next, that you can see. There is a lot of people. It is a very busy time right now, and you're trying to keep track of it all, but that's one thing that's like kind of hard for you to kind of keep track of. Like your eyes are trying to move everywhere, and there is a lot of activity going on around you. Peregrine, you do notice quite a few different people in various like robes and dress, all seemingly like finery, coming in and like getting tables and having quiet conversations. A couple of them that you try to like kind of zero in on and watch. You see one where just like reading the lips, you get like a conversation about like textile exchange and imports, and whether they can make a deal to take more territory if they help this other business person. And you can't see what the other business person is saying, so you can only see like one person's lips because the other person's not facing you. Another person comes in, and you see a conversation happening about sort of military training and like how the military is being distributed towards certain borders of like Veladon, and how they feel about their current standing and how things are going. And you sense like some trepidation on being able to keep up sort of a war on multiple fronts, or at least fighting on multiple fronts. Other than that, you feel you clock a few people that are kind of like keep to themselves and come in, kind of grab a drink, maybe some food, don't really talk to anyone, and go about their own business. But nothing that you notice that is out of place, other than the fact that they're like just coming in, kind of doing their own thing, and then leaving. There is one person that you do notice that like comes in, grabs a meal and a drink, and heads up to their room by themselves. But again, could just be a lone traveler.
Right.
There's nothing out of place that really clocks you, other than the fact that they're by themselves. Orianna and Baltaim, were you looking for something specific?
I would have just been... I would have been keeping an eye in the, like, shadowy corners of the tavern, just to see if there's, like, any sort of gathering or something happening, just outside of the action and range of most of...
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check.
$17.
You kind of look in the various corners to see. You do notice someone in the corner by the craps table is kind of like just watching craps. Close to you, not too far, but just kind of like looking over the table, has like a long coat, looks to be smoking a cigarette, has an ashtray beside him, but is kind of keeping to himself, just watching the game, not really saying anything. At one point, you do see the waitress come by, offer a drink. You see him order some kind of like ale, and just have that sitting by him, kind of. He's nursing it, but not really drinking it heavily, and just keeping a constant eye on the table. In the other corners, seems pretty fluid. You don't see anyone kind of like slinking about. Campion, you wanted to play, so you got your money.
Yeah.
So when you first put your money down, where are you putting your money?
Really, it's not like he's just putting it randomly. It's not about making money for him. It's just like he's really just looking around the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
As an avid craps player, we'll see what you.
Yeah, I was saying, is this just like legit craps, or is this like?
This is legit craps.
Okay.
So.
Craps, yeah, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Okay, so initially, so you, you can put your, bet on any of the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So, the come out happens, what do you, and you see the token get placed on a 2. And your money gets sort of, you still have your money on the line, on the come line, but like, where do you put any more money anywhere else? You could put it on, you can't put it on 2, but you can put it on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, sorry, not 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9,
and 10, right?
10, 11, and 12.
He'll split it between 8 and 5, the rest of it.
Okay, 8 and 5. All right. Oh, he just puts all of his money down on the first bet.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, how much gold does he put on? So he put. I'll just say like with your chips.
5.
You probably put like with 10 gold, you probably got 100 chips.
Okay.
I'll say you had to put like 5 on the initial line. So you have 95 chips left. So how many do you put on 5 and how many do you put on 8?
If it's 95, you know what? I'm really liking 5 for some reason. So I'll put like I'll put 60 on 5 and the rest on 8.
Okay, so it's 95, so 35 on.
Yeah, 35, yeah.
You crap out because I just rolled a 7. You lose your money on the initial go.
Man,
so
you could have
all of
like
your money-
milked this for a while, and like a chip here, tried to like, good lord.
So on the initial rollout, all your money gets taken, and they just go crapped out. What can you do? You back in. You see the table hand. I don't know what they're called, but like.
Don't ask me. I never played craps
Yeah.
before.
They're not maybe they're called a dealer as well. I don't know, but like the dealer kind of like grabbed the dice and from the person who crapped out. It wasn't you, unfortunately. Like it was someone else who kind of screwed the pooch.
Oh, okay.
But you see the 2 get the token on the 2 get flipped over, and everyone begin to place their bets on the come line again, and come out line, and yeah, you're kind of the dealer kind of looks to you and says, "Are you in again?"
No. He's gonna nod his head and shake.
Okay. So you have your like drink beside you. You are out on the first game. This is like the first like 3 minutes of you being there. So where are you? What are you doing? Are you just standing back and like watching the rest of the people?
I'm over by where the people is. But can I get a better view? Because I can't see the back door from here. Correct?
No.
No.
Not well. I mean, you can kind of see it, but not well. Actually, you don't see a back door. You just see the doors. There's a couple of doors that go into sort of like the back area.
Yeah.
Which is like the kitchen.
Oh shit. Okay. See, it's like the swinging door. Okay, got you. Fuck. Damn. I'll just keep my eye on the front door foot traffic then.
Okay. And what are you looking for specifically?
I'm looking for if anyone has any like markings of the cult, because we were able to see because it's a skull with
a pyramid, a maroon pyramid with a skull in it. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a perception check with advantage. You've still got the
thing. That's shit.
Okay.
So
you're trying to keep an eye out, and you're watching people come in. It's getting very, very busy, and it's like it's hard to see some people, but you're like looking and you don't see that symbol. But you do know as at about the 50-minute mark, you have about 10 minutes left on your yourself.
Shit. Okay. Damn. That's terrible. So actively I have 10 minutes left, correct?
You have actively 10 minutes left, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna pretend like I'm inebriated and start stumbling inside of the employee area with the doors, the kind of barn door thing you told me.
Okay, so you start to stumble across the establishment towards the back area.
Yeah.
And as you attempt to stumble into the waiting area, like where the staff works, you just hear, "Excuse me, that's not for you. That's for staff, sir."
Yes. It's a bathroom.
I'll show you where that is.
Bathroom. And he's gonna start. Campion's gonna start kind of like unhooking his pants and keep going.
Oh God.
Okay. Well, she's going to like be like, sir, and start directing you towards where the lavatories are. Please don't pull your pants down in public. And
Yeah,
starts
I can't
push-
get a. Oh shit! Okay.
Are you still trying to pull down your pants?
I was trying to get like a quick glimpse inside of this room, but if she's not.
Oh
letting
yeah,
me, it's
as
fine.
you like try to push through, you see a kitchen.
Okay, just the plain kitchen.
I mean, you get a very brief look inside this room, so you just see
Okay.
like people moving around and like plates being placed on top of counters and things like that.
Okay, I fall.
Okay. You just randomly fall?
Oh my.
Okay, I mean,
Oh,
go ahead and
yeah.
make a deception check.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Let me make a deception check on this real quick. That is a 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you like stumble and fall, the lady turns to a larger gentleman. And you guys have noticed that they do have, obviously, especially with gambling, they do have like bouncers and things like that to just make sure that the clientele are savory. And she just says, excuse me, I think I need a little bit of help here with this gentleman. Seems to be having a little trouble. Might have had a little bit too much to drink. And you see one of the larger gentlemen start walking over to you.
Okay.
And he, large Goliath man. And he's in a fine sort of suit, but kind of like bends down and says, "Come on, sir. Let's get you up and get you."
Hey.
And he pulls you. He like pulls you, pulls you to your feet and says,
Okay, cool.
"Now, you did a bit too much. Do we need to see you out?"
No, just a bathroom.
Okay. Helps lead you towards the bathroom, and
Okay.
helps like get you inside, and then kind of like leaves you to do what you need to do in the bathroom.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was like a lot of minutes, so I know it's I'm changing back anyway.
Yeah, you've got
so,
maybe at this point another like 3 to 4 minutes.
it doesn't matter. Well, by falling, was I at least able to get enough time to look to see if the back door was to that other
No, the door was
door?
closed when you fell.
Oh, really?
You didn't fall
shit.
inside the door. Like you were stopped before you could go in there.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool, no problem. Then yeah, I'm gonna change back.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right, so you go into like a stall to make it as if you're doing a big deuce, and
Yeah.
And come back as campy.
yeah, release the magic.
Yeah.
Release the magic.
Release.
Release the magic. Also, a poo.
And you're
Sometimes
back
it
as
is
champion
magical.
without your brace or your armband.
Now you have a bum leg.
How does Campion react with
Oh shit.
coming into
Mm.
and the clothes are slightly bigger on you than they were before, drooping off of you a little bit because the form you took was of a larger gentleman, because Orianna's father is built as a soldier.
Yes. I mean, it's fine. I mean, Campion's had to, get
Yeah, I
dressed.
just want to know
Yeah.
how he would react now that he doesn't
he's-
have those things, because he's used to using those to help him, and I don't know how you would play this character without right now.
Yeah, Campion at this point, he's sitting on the stall, and, he was very elated, being able to use his arm and leg, but now that it's like he can no longer feel either of them and they're not, like, working, he, like, deeply sighs and begins to pull out, do his routine as how he would do in the morning to get dressed. Is he would fumble with the put on his gauntlet first.
With what?
And then-
How are you weren't carrying your gauntlet with you, dude?
I put him in my bag of holding.
Bag of holding.
Oh, you had it on your bag of holding. Okay, on your
Yeah.
side. Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
He dumped all
Like-
the stuff in there.
Got it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So you start taking it out. You start putting
Yeah.
your stuff on. You start taking, I guess, the clothes that you had on off,
Mhm.
and start putting your regular
Clothes, yeah,
armor
back,
and everything.
yeah, the regular routine, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. and then once it's done, he sighs and then he heads back down.
Okay, so you come back out of the washroom as Campion.
Yeah.
Perry, you clock Campion coming out of the washroom.
Okay.
But didn't really see him go in there.
Maybe I blinked.
Yeah.
This gave me a Perry. Just like maybe I blinked.
And your magic has dropped at this point too.
Mm-hmm.
And Campion, where do you head? Like no one's waiting for you outside the washroom. It seems like the bouncer's gone back to his
cool.
post or whatever. Waitresses are moving around.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, Campion, he kind of, saunters over to Perry.
Okay, Perry and Quinn sitting at the table.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They're over there. And he acts like that he's, kind of making a joke and whatever.
Uh-huh.
And he's just like he's talking like, I couldn't really find anything on my end other than, the back area. There's just a sewer grate and everything. There's been activity with it, but I can't discern if it's via nefarious means or just a regular maintenance.
Right. Okay. So now.
And if any of the patrons or employees of this establishment, there is a back door that they could access the grate, but I didn't get a chance to see if anyone was moving between the two.
Right. Well, I haven't heard anything. Everything seems sort of on the up and up.
And at this point, a waitress comes by and says, "Oh, sir, do you need a seat? We can bring one around for this table if you're going to be sitting with your friends."
No. I'm gonna go out for some fresh air, actually. And Campion actually, signals over for Greybone to follow, and he, goes outside to sit.
Fine.
Yeah.
And you're just going to hang out outside?
Yeah, he's just gonna hang out outside.
Okay. The rest of you, are continuing to kind of like watch as you sort of finish your meals, finish your drinks. Is there anything specific anyone wants to do?
Yeah, I'm particularly just like listening in on like the conversations of like the craps tables, seeing like it's further as they get more drunk, or if anyone gets more drunk, trying to see if there's anything interesting that passes by my ears.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check.
Smart.
Perception. Ooh,
Natural 20.
Hell yeah.
You do hear a gentleman say, like at first they're just talking about their like how they're doing, and they're like, lost on that one, and eventually you hear him as they're like both gambling. One of them leans over and just says, "So, Ileana's new friend." And the other guy kind of looks. He's like, "Yep, it's a strange one. Wasn't expecting it, especially given things with the Commander General." And he just says, "Well, perhaps she has them both wrapped around her finger." And he says, "Wouldn't be the first time for a woman." But I keep my head down and I do my work. I come here to have a little fun. He says, "That's right. Well, I guess it's too high for our pay grade anyways." And that's kind of like the conversation you get, and then they just continue kind of like gambling away and griping about their jobs, but nothing else significant. Cool. Campion, as you're kind of like sitting outside, and kind of like just like what, leaning against the wall or something like that, kind of just chilling.
Yeah, he's leaning against the wall.
You do make a perception check.
Yeah.
No longer with advantage.
Yeah. Roll. That's a 10.
Okay.
I know.
Oh, buddy.
I tried so hard to help you.
We all have.
Maybe like a half an hour later, you do notice someone sort of stumble by into the left-hand alley.
Oh, I just see someone stumble.
Yeah, they're like as if they're drunk.
Okay.
It's getting dark now. It's probably like around 8 o'clock at this point, and you see someone sort of stumbling into the alley.
Okay. As he walks, he doesn't walk by me, or he just.
No, you're on like the like you're against, I guess, one of the like walls of the front of the tavern. You see this person go into the alley, but they don't specifically brush by you. They don't try to get close to you or anything like that. They just go into the alley.
I mean, fuck it. I'll take a look. I'll act if I need to take a piss.
Okay, so you start to kind of like get up and move your way like over towards the alley, and as you like look down the alley, you see this person continue to kind of like stumble down towards like the back area.
Where the back door in the grate are?
Well, you can't see it from here, but like you're seeing them continue to go down the alley.
Okay. Fuck, do I wanna stealth? Okay, but he's moving out of my distance, out of my sight range. Okay.
Well, you can see. I mean, it's like again, it's getting dark, and you have dark vision, so you can see this person doing it, but eventually, as you're like watching them, they do turn the corner and go behind the building.
Oh, go by. Okay, no problem.
So now you can't see them; they're out of your. They like stumbled out of your vision.
Yeah. All right.
You're still at the very sort of front of the alley.
Yeah. I'm just gonna chill right there.
Okay. You chill at the front of the alley. 5 minutes goes by.
Nothing. I don't even hear the guy because he's
like think of like this building is a large tavern.
Yeah.
Probably like 80 feet long.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably not going to hear over all the din of all the crowd and everything inside every time the door opens and stuff like that, and what's going on inside. Anything that's like 80 feet away around the other side of the alley.
Yeah.
You don't hear anything specifically. You don't hear a ruckus, or you don't hear a crash or anything like that. You just don't hear anything.
Okay. I mean, this guy was quite inebriated. I'm gonna check up on this guy to see if he's okay.
Okay.
He might have passed out, and I don't want him to get robbed.
All right. You begin walking down the alley to go to see where this gentleman is. And as you walk to the end, you turn to look, and you do kind of see a gentleman, hand on the wall, looking as if he was peeing.
Okay.
And kind of like leaned against the wall.
Okay, so is he? Oh, so he looks like he's peeing right now.
He looks like he's was.
Oh,
there's no pee coming out anymore.
Oh shit!
He looks like he's kind of passed out.
Okay. I do a quick medical check right now.
Okay, so you head over to him. I need you to make a Constitution save.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh shit.
Here we go.
Maybe I should have given.
Oh,
god!
shit.
Maybe I should have given him a Constitution.
Oh my god.
As you walk over to this gentleman, just before you get to him, you especially with the keen sight of the Ioun's goggles.
Shit, dude.
As you're getting to him and his sort of face is down like this, you just see the smirk on the side of his face as you feel a dart hit you in the neck.
Oh,
And you go
I
woozy
knew. Oh,
for a
man.
second,
Bobby
and
said.
you fall. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
in the tavern,
Okay.
all of you start to come over funny. Room starts spinning.
Oh
Were you drinking the drinks?
They were all eating and drinking.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
yeah, you did.
And
You totally
as
did.
you kind of like try to get up and do anything, you're in the moment, and you just boom, and everything goes black for all of you.
no!
Oh, snap.
And that's where I'll end tonight's session.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god!
Ah,
Oh my god!
they poisoned our food.
Remember those concerns we had about going where the enemies were?
yeah.
They wouldn't attack us in broad daylight.
They didn't.
It wasn't
attack
broad daylight.
us,
It was
and
nighttime.
it was nighttime.
Yeah.
Like I just.
All right. Well,
That is good. That is good.
that'll be an interesting. We'll see what this interesting start has for us next week. But thank you all for watching. You went to the proverbial lion's den, and we'll
Yeah.
see what ends up happening next week. But we hope you all enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you enjoyed, please share with your fellow D&D lovers. The best way to help a stream like ours grow is to spread the word. Subscribe to our YouTube to give us more subscriptions there. We'd really appreciate it so that we can eventually get like an actual domain name. And remember, folks, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. Have a great Friday. Make good choices. And we hope to see
Unlike
you back
us.
here next week. See you later,
Oh, God.
guys. Have a good
Oh,
You made
God.
a great choice. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh god.
Ugh.